you fought. We know you.
Oh,
fought.
yeah, definitely.
Who's someone that you knew you were going to probably fight?
I'm coming off the field, and Antonio Smith full ninja kicks me like on the back of the legs, and I go down on the field, and he gets a penalty flag. But I think he took my helmet off and swung it at me one time.
Welcome to Games with Names. I'm Julian Edelman. They're Jack and Kyler, and we're on the mission to find the greatest game of all time. On today's episode, we are covering the 2019 Week 5 London game between the Oakland Raiders and the Chicago Bears with 15-year NFL vet, 4-time Pro Bowler, and a beast of an O-lineman, Richie Incognito. And we're talking what it's like blocking Vince Wilfork.
When we played the Pats, they'd always put Big Vince on me.
Yeah.
And me and Big Vince, man, we used to go at it.
Bills Mafia versus Raiders Nation. Are there differences? They're both probably insane to play for.
Bills Mafia, you know, I used to love the videos of them going through tables and lighting themselves on fire. And when they get the Raiders, and they're psychos. I mean, these people, neck tattoos, prison tattoos. You know, we always joke like, hey, if you got to go do some bad shit, you're going to call your cousin that's a Raiders fan because he's got your back.
And Richie's relationship with the refs.
The refs. All the refs. Come on.
And then we wrap it up with hitting the old hotline. Absolutely crazy. So fun. Can't wait for you guys to listen. Let's go.
Let's go.
Games with Names is a production of iHeartRadio. So you guys know what's coming up.
We sure do. A lot of stress and anxiety.
Clear
over
the
here.
schedule August 30th, baby.
August 30th. We just touched down here in Boston.
We're back, baby.
You know, it's nothing like summer in New England.
Humidity.
Humid, beautiful. Got me a tasty burger right off the train from Manhattan.
Let's go.
And it just reminded me that we're here for one reason and one reason only. That's to fucking rock the socks off the people at the Wilbur. August 30th, this Friday. Let's go!
2 sold out shows, baby.
We got guests. We got games. We got new merch.
I swear to God.
We're taking over
Designed
Boston
by the
this
boys.
week.
Designed personally by the
We
boys.
designed it.
If you guys don't sell at that merch tent, I'll be waiting for you in the alley.
They're gonna be it'll be sold out.
It will be.
They
It
might.
will
I don't know.
be.
We ordered a lot.
Hey,
Also,
Kids love merch.
Wednesday
So do
night,
adults.
too.
We love merch,
Taking
baby.
over Boston Wednesday night, throwing out the first pitch.
Wednesday night, we're throwing out the first pitch.
little BP.
Taking some batting practice.
Taking some batting practice.
Win yard.
What's the over-under you going out? You're hitting
I don't
on the,
know. I haven't swung a bat in 7 years.
No way. It's been that long.
It's been a long time since I took BP the last time.
Oh, it's
Did
like
you hit-
riding a
did you
bike,
hit-
brother.
How many did you hit then?
I think I hit like 5 or 6.
Okay, so maybe 2.
I hope at
Going
least
Oppo,
one.
going
At
over the
least one.
monster, pull hitter. Let's go, baby.
I gotta. Hopefully, I put one out in the pike.
Oh, easy money, bro.
I'm pulling
1990.
out in the pike.
Easy money, bro. Somebody's getting a souvenir.
You need to hit up old Balco to do that.
Might have to put one over at that Loco Taqueria.
Shout out Victor
the new
Conte,
Loco.
baby.
Victor Conte.
All right,
my
we're
God,
super
bro.
excited to see you guys. It's going to be an awesome time. Can't wait.
We got to get him on the show, Victor Conte.
Dude, I have to.
We gotta get
But
that.
we'll to leave that. Let's talk about this live show. It's coming out. We can't wait. Let's go. It's gonna be fun, energetic night. It'll be a lot of familiar faces. It's just gonna be a fun night.
Can't wait to
Take
see you
over
guys.
the Wilbur. We're going to have that thing rocking.
Can't wait to see you guys.
Early show, late show. But to burn it down, baby.
All right, let's go. October 6, 2019, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, London, England.
The Raiders are having a crack at the Bears across the pond.
Grab your bullocks. This is gonna be a proper ballyhoo.
This is week 5, Raiders versus Bears, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Oh, man.
This is a pro Cornhusker podcast.
Love it.
You know, I played with he didn't go to Nebraska, but he's from Nebraska, Woodhead.
Oh, yeah. Sadron State.
Yeah, Sadron State,
Yeah.
little Woody.
Woody. Yeah, he was a hell of a player, man.
He always talked about Nebraska.
Yeah.
I mean, when we were kids, like when I was a kid, Nebraska, that was like
we
a
were
big,
good. I mean, we were good. I mean, I got there in 01, and we were national champs 94, 95, 97. And then I got there in 2001. My freshman year, we played in the Rose Bowl against Miami for the national championship.
Yeah.
We had an okay year the next year. I think we went 7-7. Then we go 10-2, and they fire everybody. All the coaches who had been there 15,
I remember that.
20, 30 years, and the program really hasn't been the same since.
They always had a quarterback named Martinez. I feel like they've had like three.
Yeah, we had a couple
three
Martinez's in a row.
I loved
Yeah.
Eric Crouch.
And they're different guys.
He's
That's
the
where
best.
the
Yeah.
same guy.
Yeah, Crouch was the man.
Dude, he was
Dude,
awesome.
he's one of the fastest people I've ever seen getting up to top speed on that option.
Well, Welcome to Games with Names, Rich.
Thank you, brother. Good to be
Today
here.
we are discussing the Bears versus Raiders London game, Week 5 in 2019.
Let's go.
In one sentence, can you explain to us why you picked this game?
This is a special game for me because the Bears were coming in hot. Their defense was playing really well that year. There's a lot of talk, they're the best defense since the 85 Bears. They had Khalil Mack, Eddie Goldman. They had a couple stud linebackers. And, Gruden did a really good job building teams up and, getting us ready to go. So all week he's talking about the Bears and the Raiders in London. We were there all week. We came out and we set the tone early, and we just laid on them. We kept hitting them. We were up. They came back. And then we went on a long fourth quarter drive to ice it. So we went all the way down the field, running the ball with Josh Jacobs, put it in the end zone, got the win.
So play with St. Louis, played with the Bills, which I played you a bunch at.
Yep.
Went to the Raiders, Dolphins, played you in the Dolphins a lot.
Yeah.
And you pick a Week 5 2019 Raiders game.
This was awesome, man. I mean, this was awesome. I made a bunch of blocks in this game that really just opened things up. We were down on the goal line, we're backed up, and the whole line slants one way. I get up to the backer, I blast the blacker, I get the free safety, and we're just running the ball. And I love
run game.
I love the run game. I love grinding them up, and I love playing with Josh Jacobs. I think Josh Jacobs has a really unique feel on how to run the zone game.
Yeah.
And he's just a beast, dude. You give him that ball, he runs with bad intentions. He's going out there to fuck people up.
Yeah. Yeah, and I always say that with on the kickoff show on Fox. I tell everyone, because I was always close with the linemen, even when we were training. We'll get into that, but linemen love going forward. No one wants to sit back and let a fucking 310-pound fucking guy do all these moves on them, and you got to just sit back and fucking shield them off. Yeah. These guys like going forward and hitting, and that was definitely displayed in this game. We'll get into that. What are you doing right now?
So I'm still close to the Raiders. I still do a bunch of work with the Raiders. I go back to all the home games. I'm around the team. I was down in camp with them for 2 weeks, coaching the boys up. So, pretty much back and forth with the Raiders, back home in Arizona. I train my guys in the offseason down at Exos, get a couple offensive linemen in. And that's it, man. Just staying close to the game, playing a ton of golf, hanging out, working out, enjoying life.
What are you coaching when you're there? Are you sitting down with just the linemen? Are you consulting them? Are you watching film with them? Or do they have you on the field helping running drills and shit? What are you doing there?
So this year, Antonio, new head coach, he's great, former player, gets it. He had me come down and talk to the guys the night before pads. Yeah. And I got the boys going. I got them riled up. I had a great 10, 15-minute chat with them,
What's the chat? Can we get an abridged version of the chat? Give us the highlights of that chat real quick.
Basically, these opportunities, you're presented with these opportunities in life, you have to make the most of them. And it's the first day in pads, and you're going out there and you're sharpening your mind, you're sharpening your body. Everybody wants to talk about mentally tough. That's when you get tough. Those practices right there, that strain that you feel in those training camp practices, that's what's going to show up in the fourth quarter in Week 5. That's what's going to show up in the season. So, talk to him about, the strain and the physicality of the game, and talk to him about, coming together as a team. It's really there's a couple veterans that have been there, but for the most part, it's a lot of new faces. So keep coming together, keep building. And then, just had some good one-liners like kill or be killed, hit everything moving, let's fucking go. Get these guys going. So it was good. And then when they were out on the field, I was working with offensive linemen, just breaking the game down. I kind of see the game in a very detailed way. And so guy make a mistake, pull him over to the side. Hey, do this. Get some guys cleaned up. We got some young offensive linemen. We got some rookies that need to step up and play for us. So, really leaning on them, watching film, sharing my notes, just trying to, help them improve, day to day.
Are you in staff meetings?
No, thank God, no.
No staff meetings?
No.
Now, you talked about Antonio Pierce. I got to go, I was over at their training camp last year with McDaniels, and I got to hang out with all the coaches, and Antonio was there. He seems like a sharp dude, and like you said, former player, he gets it. Yeah. What's your take on him right now when you've been in the moment, or you've been in the building, you've seen how he's addressed the team? Now he's not, he's not the intern coach no more. There's a different pressure that he has to deal with. All right, we don't have that, fired coach bump of excitement or energy that, a lot of these teams have when a coach gets fired. They start playing hard, all the shit that they needed to do with that fired coach, they never did, but then all of a sudden it happens. How you think he's going to do this first year? How's he looking out there?
I think he's done a tremendous job. I think he knows he's kind of learning how to be a head coach on the fly.
Yeah,
he's
got Coughlin over there. He's got some good dudes.
He's got Coughlin, Marvin Lewis, Joe Philbin, old Dolphins head coach, a couple other guys, and he really leans on those guys. Like he leans on those guys for practice and how to get the team going and the schedule. It's being the head man. It's such a hard job. It's like being the CEO of a Fortune 500 company and half your employees are freaking crazy. So. It's one of those things where I think he's learning. I think he really relates to the players. After the last coaching regime, your boys, after that all kind of cleared out, they came together. They had no choice. They had kind of felt a certain way about how they were approaching work and how they were approaching practice, and then it was like boom, flip a switch, like let's go. We're back to being Raiders and playing about passion. So I think he's really good at. He's embracing the Raiders culture. He's embracing the veterans that are there. And they're building. I mean, it's going to be an interesting first year, see where they're at. When you're going into the season with a quarterback competition, there's a lot of questions in the air. So I think once they get that quarterback competition settled down, figure out, who's going to be the guy calling the plays, I think then, they can start forming their identity.
O'Connell and what's our guy?
Minshew Mania.
Minshew Mania, baby.
How are we looking over
Minshew
there?
Mania. It's been up and down. It really has. During camp, one guy would have a great day, one guy would be off. One guy being accurate, one guy be turning the ball over. Then we got to a point in camp where it was like both guys were turning the ball over, but both are doing enough to kind of earn the trust of the coaches. You have two different styles. You have Aiden O'Connell, who's a pocket passer. He wants to sit back there. He wants to deliver the ball accurately down the field. He couldn't get better with pocket presence. Moving around the pocket. Tom was one of the best guys ever. Watched a lot of film on Tom. And, he would just move that extra half step or half inch up in the
pressure,
pocket.
Take one step and still stay in the offense.
Exactly, 100%.
That's very tough for young quarterbacks to do. Sometimes the left tackle's getting bull rushed or the guy's running the hoop. He wants him to run the hoop,
right?
Because you're supposed to step your ass up, and if you got a little something in your face from the the nose guard who's 345 pounds that's being double teamed, that's when you take a little step to the left. Yeah. But you got to keep your eyes downfield while you're doing it.
100%.
And that's fucking hard.
Yeah, that's really hard. I mean, you said it. A lot of the young guys struggle with that because the play breaks down. Something breaks down, they want to take off and run. And a lot of times in the NFL, those routes are coming open. As soon as they're starting to run, those routes are coming open. The safety valves where you can go with the ball, but. With Aiden and Gardner, it's been a good competition. I think, Aiden's more of a pocket passer. Minshew Mania, he's going to let it roll. Yeah. He's really good about feeling the pressure, escaping. He'll run. He's not scared to run it. And then he's really good about keeping his eyes downfield and kind of creating those off-schedule plays.
Reminds me of Baker a little.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Baker holds the offense a little more intact, but Baker does get a little sometimes where it's just like that tough playmaker, out of nowhere makes a crazy play type shit.
Yeah, got that dog in him. And it gets the teams going. On third down, you take off the ball. Boys are fired up. Let's go.
Boys are fired up. I got a quick question. So you played for the Bills. I played you a bunch there.
Yeah.
And you played for the Raiders.
Yep.
Bills Mafia, Raiders Nation. How do we compare them? Now, are there differences? They're both probably insane to play for.
Yeah.
But give me a little synopsis, if that's a word. I don't know that.
Synopsis. Yeah. Synopsis. You nailed that, bro.
Did I?
Synopsis, baby.
I'm a football guy.
So, two awesome fan bases, two definitely.
And what's the craziest thing you've seen from both?
Man. So, two awesome fan bases, two very different fan bases. Bills Mafia, 75,000 people in the game. There's probably another 75,000 people that just stay in the parking lot to party.
Yeah.
They're showing up early Saturday morning with the RVs. They're getting out. They're getting their spread out. That's like the biggest thing going on in the region that week is that Buffalo Bills game. So, you really feel
it. Year, not week.
Yeah,
year.
Exactly. It's one of those things where you feel the fan base. You're always out in the community. There's Bills stuff everywhere. Very college-like atmosphere. Where so many people are positive about the team and not a lot of people trying to tear down the team or, create waves. They're very in unison. But it's awesome, man. Seeing Bills Mafia, I used to love the videos of them going through tables and lighting themselves on fire and, all sorts of crazy stuff. And then you have Raider Nation. Raider Nation's awesome, man. Raider Nation is huge. It is
travels
big.
Too.
They travel. They show up, man. Raider Nation is everywhere. And I was doing my first training camp up in Napa with the Raiders, and my mom used to always come hang out during training camp. And, Buffalo Bills are like middle class America, wholesome families, just, I would say quote unquote normal people. And they get the Raiders and they're psychos. I mean, these people are all dressed up. It's 80 degrees out of practice. They're all dressed up. They got the paint running down their face, neck tattoos, prison tattoos. We always joke like, hey, if you got to go do some bad shit, you're going to call your cousin that's a Raiders fan because he's got your back, Yeah. So, but yeah, Raiders fans, their love for the game, and, they were great in the 80s, and they had a lot of
history.
Ton of history with Al. It's really kind of one of those storied programs, and that's why I want to see them get back to winning because they deserve it. Raiders Nation deserves it. Las Vegas, I mean, we have an awesome stadium. We have a great setup. The boys have a great practice facility.
Great. Taj Mahal.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's
practice facilities.
As Bill called it.
Yeah, that was like the sign of approval. Bill called it, one of the best he's seen. So, yeah, I mean, the Raider Nation, they're starving for a winner.
Yeah.
It's been a long time and a lot of crazy stuff. Being a part of Raider Nation now, I think it's my 6th or 7th year being a part of the team and being around the team. It's always something. There's always something up. There's always something going on. And I'd like to see all that get settled down and, have some sustained success and really make some noise.
Yeah, it'd be good for the league. That's a pillar. That's a pillar of the organization. That's a pillar of this league. What's up with Davis? Did you ever meet Al? And did you ever what do you think of what's my guy's name?
Mark. Yeah. So I met Al at the combine.
Yeah.
And I had a brief interaction with him, and he was just like, "You're born to be a Raider." And I was like, "Yeah, hell yeah. I'd love to come up there and play always." And, I stayed really tight with Gruden I got to know him over the years. We played in a Pro Bowl one year, and he was sending over those trays of just full of beers over the offensive line. So always loved Gruden. He was the one talking to me about coming out of retirement because I took a year off, and he was like, you're not done. You got it in you. Come on, let's go, come back. And Mark Davis is great, man. Love hanging around Mark. He's got good energy. He loves the Raiders. The Raiders really are family. We're getting ready to go back next weekend. We do alumni weekend. I think they bring back 350 former players.
Wow.
And, they throw it down for 2 or 3 days in Vegas. Big parties, we take over the Winfield Club. So it's really cool, man. I like Mr. Davis, and I know he really wants to start winning. I know that's a big thing.
What do you know what's in his fanny pack, Al's? Mark's?
I don't know, man. I don't know what's in there, but he's definitely got a unique style, and he owns it. That's him.
That's Davis.
Drip, baby. That's drip.
That's just David.
Yeah,
he's trying to
drip. Yeah, that's the drip. Yeah, he's awesome, man. It really is cool to be part of the Raiders because I live in Scottsdale and it's so close. And I can shoot up so easily. So it's fun.
Now you play for the Raiders and the Bills, and it's always fun to hear about guys that played with Marshawn Lynch.
Oh yeah.
Do we got anything? What do you?
Oh man, Marshawn, that's my guy.
Because I grew up in the Bay.
Yeah,
and he is Mr. just hyphy, stupid, doo-doo, dumb,
Yes.
like crazy. I've been hearing stories about Marshawn. We've only met maybe briefly here after a game or something, but we've been in contact. I've been always wanted to do something. But I love hearing the stories about Marshawn because they're just genuine and fucking awesome.
Yeah. I mean, he is Mr. Bay Area. I mean, he represents that whole scene so well. Like, he's so funny. But yeah, I played with him in Buffalo, and I just remember us drinking at Applebee's. Like, he showed up with like 3 Porsches in a row full of people, went to Applebee's, threw it down, and I mean, he was a beast, dude. I mean, you talk about running angry. That dude was trying to take your head off. He was a stud. But yeah, it's great. It's great having him around the program in Vegas too.
Does he come by?
He's around a lot. Yeah, he's around a lot. He's in Vegas a lot. But yeah, he's a beast, man.
We talked to Dola, and he wanted us to ask us about the 4-wheeler stories.
Oh, Amendola. Oh, my guy. Yeah. So,
and maybe the first time you ever saw him or interacted with him in a huddle, what'd you say?
Look, who's this Make-A-Wish kid in the huddle?
He goes, yeah, it was my first time ever in the huddle. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, Richie looks over and said, who brought their little fucking brother to the
That one stuck with Dola.
Damn, yeah, he was a little guy. He was shifty. But yeah, so we had one of our rookie offensive lineman was like the 2nd overall pick, so he got like a crazy amount of cash signing bonus. So he was real big on, he was from Texas. He was like, I don't want to waste it on a meal. Like, I'd rather get you guys something. So we were like, cool, we want these badass new race quads, these Yamaha, 1000s, whatever. He was like, all right, cool. So he bought all of us them, and I had mine in the garage. This was the next season, and me and Danny went out one night. We got all tore up, and I was like, hey, man, let's go ride that fucking quad. So it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and me and Danny are just ripping up and down the street in my neighborhood. I got a letter from the HOA. I think it started, we were in the garage, and I was just revving it up. And someone had the idea, like, let's go ride that around. I'm like, all right, cool. So
Private property.
Wake up the neighborhood, baby.
private property, yeah.
Private property. All right, let's go back to October 6th, 2019. This is a segment where we go over all the pop culture around the game and what was relevant. Number one movie was Joker. You ever see that movie?
Awesome movie.
Crazy
Awesome.
movie. They got a sequel coming.
I know. I'm excited for two.
It's going to be insane. Number one song was Truth Hurts by Lizzo. You ever heard that?
Great jam. Yeah, no.
I've never heard it.
heard that.
But my
Well, I don't
daughter
know who
loves
the
Lizzo.
Minnesota Viking was. In the
Yeah,
song.
she talks in there about dating a Minnesota Vikings player.
Did she?
Oh, is that the one? Yeah,
Yeah, that's the one.
How's it go, Jack?
New man on the Minnesota Vikings. That one.
That.
That's all the only line I remember, really. Shout out Lizzo.
Around this time, it was the first season of Succession. Did you watch that show?
Great show.
Great. I can't believe it. I thought it was like older than that. At least
Yeah.
17.
This was
It's
5
been on
years
forever.
ago.
It's 5. We're old.
I thought it was older than that too, because it's done now.
Yeah. It's done. And I remember Billions being around, but I guess Succession was never around. It just started.
The main character, Kendall Roy, he subletted my apartment from college in Boston.
Fun
he was
fact.
filming a movie there, and I had a shitty apartment in Beacon Hill, and he just rented it from me before all this shit. It's kind of wild.
Now he's Kendall.
Now he's Kendall.
How do you say that name, Jack?
Oh, Elliot Kipchoge, the marathon runner. He broke the first guy to break the 2-hour mark on a marathon.
That's fucking gnarly.
Wild. On a closed course in Vienna, Austria.
And it was like it was like the year of sequels. You had Zombieland Double Tap. You had It Chapter 2, Rambo Last Blood, like all pretty much sequel or trequels or whatever you call
That
that.
Zombieland, that was a pretty good franchise.
Zombieland's fire, bro.
Yeah, those are pretty good 2 movies.
Shout out
Love
Woody.
Woody Harrelson.
Shout out Woody.
I like Woody. Man, Rambo, I haven't seen this one, I don't think.
I like
They
that
lost
they.
me in Nam.
Yeah, I know. I do like that they.
The second one in Nam got me. Or third. I mean, after that, we were getting... I got to watch them again.
Bro, it's fun to imagine how we'd be in Nam. I think we'd make a good little unit.
Are you a foxhole guy, Jack?
Oh, 100%, bro.
You going down a foxhole?
100%, baby.
Let's go.
We'll send him in first.
Oh, my God.
You ever watch The Righteous Gemstones?
Yes, legendary.
Hell
It's
yes.
Jack's favorite
Bro, you
show.
got to get on it. Jules said he watched 2
I
episodes.
watched 2
and
episodes. It's very good, but it's hard. It's hard to like stay it.
It rules, baby. I love Uncle Baby Billy, all the guys. Great show.
What was life like for you in 2019?
Balling, man. Playing the first season with the Raiders, the last one in Oakland. So I got to live up there. I lived in Oakland. I lived in downtown. I lived in Jack London. So I got the full Oakland experience.
How was
And
that?
It was wild, man. It was wild. I'm from the West Coast. I love Cali. Spend my summers out here in LA. So playing in the Bay Area was awesome. I always wanted to be up there, check it out. The weather's awesome.
Yeah.
And living in Oakland, man, it's rough. It's rough with the homeless and the crime and the stuff. But like living there and being part of the community and being a part of that Raiders tradition was really cool. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, probably some good food.
Awesome food.
Yeah.
Great food all over. Our old facility in Alameda was a dump. It was a dump. I mean, they built I think they spent like $10-12 million bucks on a weight room outside, and that's what kind of saved it. We all just hung out in there. But they said before they built the new weight room, they had like those drop down ceilings, and they would have to remove the panel so that guys could do pull ups.
Oh my
So their
God.
head would pop up in the ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, I remember playing in the Coliseum.
Oh, rough.
They would have the baseball infield, right? Like
Yeah.
dirt?
Yeah.
Baseball
The
infield.
A's hated the Raiders. This is what I heard. The A's had the say on what the field was, and they always wanted to cover it with grass, and the A's were pretty much like, no, we're leaving it as a baseball field. We're not letting you cover it up. And you've played on that.
Yeah.
You'd be running with the ball, and you'd be like, oh, no, I'm not getting tackled on that. Like, I'm going over here. I'm going to go find some
It's
grass.
slick too for out running.
Oh, it's miserable.
Like,
It's
imagine
because it's hard
pass-
clay,
yeah.
but it gives. It's
Yeah.
not. There's no traction.
Oakland and Miami were like the last 2, weren't they?
Yeah.
Miami and Oakland, I
Shoot,
think.
I played on that.
was gonna say
I
you
played
played
on
on
that
both.
field in Miami with the baseball field.
I've never played on that one. They closed every year
Yeah.
at the end.
It was at the end where the Dolphins come out.
Yeah.
And the third baseline was on the goal line.
Yeah.
So it's preseason and it's raining one year, and the defensive line has their feet in the grass, and we're in the mud, and we get shut down like 4 plays in a row on the goal line. The coach is like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Dude, we're in the mud. They have traction in the grass.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck do you want us to do?"
I mean, it changes gameplay. It changes how you can call plays. Literally, I remember we used to have situational talk because there's a couple times where we go there and we didn't know if they were going to have it or not, and we'd have we would go over those situations where, look, if we're in the fucking red area and we don't have traction, we can't fucking call the fucking middle blast. That's
Yeah.
We'd have to have other shit.
That's so funny to avoid the third baseline in a football game.
Yeah. Well, in Oakland, it was like third base to first base.
Jesus.
That whole part was in the field.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we were playing there once with Josh Jacobs, and he took off and he broke out, and he hit some open daylight, and then he thought about it real hard because he had went down a couple weeks before and he had a huge burn on his arm.
Yeah.
So he was just like, "Nope, I'm just gonna run back into these guys, let them tackle me in the grass."
Yeah, it's tough.
That's wild.
Get those raspberries. In the sports world, in 2019 Super Bowl champions, the Chiefs. The NFL MVP, Lamar Jackson. Can he get it done in the playoffs? Yet to be seen. What do you think about this Chiefs dynasty? This is fucking real deal, huh?
They're the real deal, man. They are the real deal. I mean, you look at their roster, it's a well-constructed roster. I love Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Big Red is the man. Ton of talent. They're in the division with us, so obviously hate them, but at the same time, you have to sit back. It's like the Patriots dynasty. You got to sit back and you got to respect how they've had sustained success for so long, and how they just keep bringing in talent. They keep surrounding Mahomes and Kelsey, and they got their big time players, but they're always adding talent, always getting better. Their defense is a nightmare to play against because with Spags, they line up everywhere, and you have no idea where the hell they're coming from.
Yeah,
but they're good, man. They're good.
Spags, he's gonna go down as like a Scarnecchio.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like one of those guys that where he goes. That is fucking dialed up of the team.
Defense balls where he goes for sure.
I mean, he's got does he have 5 or 6 now? 4?
Let me see.
5? He's got like 6 rings because he got a bunch with
Giants.
He got us
got
with
3,
Giants.
2 with the Giants.
He's got 4.
Yeah, it's really impressive watching the Chiefs and how they reinvent themselves every year. You know, Tyreek Hill goes, all right, we don't have the weapons. What do? They get better on defense. They don't turn the ball over as much. They may not have, the Hollywood plays and the big time, video game type plays, but it takes a lot for a team to be disciplined enough not to fuck it up on offense. Like, that's so much respect for Patrick Mahomes to change the way he really wants to play, to like lean on what the strength of the team is.
Right. Yeah.
That takes humility for a guy like that.
Yeah.
And then, with the receiver core they had last year and to do it again, I mean, it's tough. The one thing that, I'll probably talk about this year with them is when you start adding up these types of long seasons, the injury bug starts coming. You don't want to put it on them, but I mean, every time you go to a Super Bowl, your off season's that much shorter, your recovery's that much shorter. You have to get back. Your battery's not charged. You instead of going to the season at 100, you're starting in at maybe 95, and that's already that's a lot. Because it's only going to go down during the season. So that's the only thing, because they really haven't had one of the main dogs. I'm not putting it out there, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, when you play more football than everyone else, bad things happen, or not bad things, but the body just can't take. Like the best team I played on was in 15. We just won a Super Bowl in 14. We went, a couple years ago to the AFC Championship. We were stacking up years. Nate Solder, week 7, blows a pec. Deion Lewis tears his knee. I break a foot. And that was like our best team, but we didn't win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It takes a lot. There's a lot of shit. So, they haven't had anything like that. And that's going to come. It's inevitable in some sort.
Yeah. Isn't it weird, the injury bug in the NFL? Like, you have some seasons where everybody's healthy. You have guys go down, but they come back at the right time.
Yeah,
and everything kind of keeps going. And then you go into a season and everybody's hurt. And you're just like, what the hell is going on? You know, it's crazy. But yeah, for them, what's really cool about watching the Chiefs is, they lose Tyreek, or they're down an offensive lineman, or now the defense, they have to be the ones to step up and carry the team. Well, Patrick finds who's he's comfortable with on offense. Each offseason, watching them just get better, watching them bring in the right guys, watching them bring in, hey, we thought Patrick got hit too much last year. Okay, we're bringing in 2 new tackles. It takes teams years to address those problems, and they're just, I mean, they are, I really have a lot of respect for
Joe
Andy.
Tooney.
Joe, yeah.
Shout out.
Beast.
My guy gets 2 with us. He's already got 2 with them now. This guy.
Yeah, he's a stud, man.
Yeah, I don't think he tore his pec a little or something last year. He missed some time, but he's that guy didn't miss a snap the whole career with the Pats.
Yeah, stud.
That's fucking crazy. You were really healthy too.
Stud. Yeah, I had a really good run in the middle of my career, just staying healthy and being durable and starting all the games. But yeah,
Heisman Trophy winner Joe Burrow.
Joe Burr.
That's a Burrow and Lamar. That's the same class? No, that's 1 year older.
1 year apart.
A little bit longer.
What do you think
see,
about
a
this
couple
young
years.
QB class? JJ McCarthy tears his fucking knee
I know,
up. That's
unfortunate.
terrible.
I know, that
And
sucks.
Allison. But like Caleb looked pretty decent.
Caleb looked good. He was delivering the ball.
He looked good. He looked
does.
confident.
He does. Another guy. Play breaks down, evade the rush, keep the eyes downfield. He's always looking to make a play. And then those off balance throws. I mean, you can't teach guys to make those throws. But I think Caleb looked really good.
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden, I like him. I was hoping we get him with the Raiders. You know, there's an AP connect. I was hoping we'd be able to make a move for him, but he's going to be a stud. Yeah, you know, it's
Cliff Kingsbury likes him a lot.
well, Cliff.
You know,
Cliff's
Cliff's a smart guy.
Cliff is a smart guy. Cliff is a smart guy.
You know, I'm excited for those two to get to work. You know, I mean, because a lot of that with a young quarterback is the development and it's the relationship between that and the play caller.
For sure.
That
100%.
has so much to do with how this kid's going to be successful.
Yeah.
You know, and Cliff's got one in his pocket where he already. I mean, Kyler Murray, for as much as whatever you want to say about him, the guy's put up numbers. And he went to the playoffs. They started like 8-0 1 year.
Yeah.
You know, with him.
Well, he played his best ball with Cliff.
Yeah.
You know, Cliff comes in, and Cliff is a very, very smart guy. And you know Cliff.
Yeah.
We all know Cliff as a play caller. And I love those kind of genius offensive play callers where they have this massive menu of stuff. And it's like, because I played on teams where it's like, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. And it's like, all right, cool. We're really good about doing that. But once they figure it out, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
And I like these offensive guys who are geniuses and they have this massive playbook and they're looking for matchups, and each week is a different iteration of the offense and you have to adapt to win. And you guys did a really good job of that in New England over the years. You know, sometimes it's run heavy, sometimes, you know, Tom spreading them out, airing it out. You know, you guys were never just going to come in and be like, hey, we're going to run our power and our duo and our outside zone and our play action. I've been on teams like that, and you know, it's like pulling teeth trying to get the ball down the field.
That's the thing. Like the West Coast teams are notorious for that script.
Yep.
They stay on that script.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then you have to adjust to the script. You know, we were such a adjust to the adjustments type team.
Yeah.
You know, game plan is specifically for every weakness that defense had.
Right.
Even if it wasn't our strength, if our strength matched up with their strength, but our weakness was better than their weakness in some sort, we would go to that until they stopped it.
Yep.
And then have things, you know, and then that's what that offensive coordinator does. And Cliff's story, man, it's just crazy to me because he's got to learn under a lot of really good coaches. I mean, he was around with Belichick. He was a player, but he wasn't playing. So Bill would give him like projects and he'd have to break up the film.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
all that
cool.
stuff while he was a player, but he was kind of coaching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was like the third quarterback or something, and then he got his time where he moved on and learned the West Coast, and and then did his whole thing in Texas Tech. Cliff's a stud. I'm looking forward to that. This is the 100th year of the NFL, 2019. 100 years.
Wild. 100 years.
100 years of ball.
Richie, if you had to play in another era other than the one you played in, of those 100 years, what do you think you would have been the best in?
I mean, I would say like the 80s, 90s when it was like a little more rough and tumble.
I like
and
that.
Like, you got guys like who are out of their fucking minds. I think I fit in a little bit better with them. But yeah, that'd be awesome to go back to that. I mean, I wouldn't want those paychecks. I mean, I definitely like our paychecks better. But yeah, that'd be awesome to go
Get
back.
that job in the offseason.
Yeah, I know. Show up for camp smoking cigarettes.
Still do. All right, Jackie, break down this
Let's see
game.
it.
Let's get into
Chicago Bears.
These Bears, an 8-8 team, finished third in the NFC North. This was the second year of the Matt Nagy year or era. OC was Mark Elfridge. You might remember him. He took over for Chip Kelly at Oregon. Chuck Pagano, another familiar name, was running the defense over there. And they're coming off a 12-4 season that ended in the double doink game, which we have covered on this show with Kyle Long and Chris Long. And speaking of the double doink game, we talked with Ernie, the power of a single game to set you back years and years and years. Richard, do you believe in that theory?
What's
that one game can be so brutal and heartbreaking that it like sets a franchise back years.
100%,
The Seattle Super Bowl.
Yeah, there's a lot of, especially coming from the Bills, all the wide left and all that stuff. That defined that team and that city for a while, until 20 years later. Now they're balling. They got Josh Allen and they're flying around. But yeah, man, I think that stuff lingers, and that stuff can kind of have an effect into the next season.
I'm with you. I definitely subscribe to that theory. So, this was coming off a great year, and this was third year of the Trubisky era. Old Mitch.
We all talk shit about, Mitch this and Nagy was terrible. I mean, look at this team was 14 and fucking 12 and 14.
Top 10 defense.
And then, didn't they make the playoffs this year or no?
No, they finished 8-8, and they were the only team ever to miss the playoffs while being top 5 and fewest points allowed.
That defense was legit.
Man.
You got Akeem Hicks, Eddie Goldman, Bilal Nichols, that guy Roy Robertson Harris. He was a good pass rusher. And we're the linebackers: Khalil Mack, Kwiatkowski, Leonard Floyd.
Also Kyle Fuller.
Kyle Fuller. I mean, they were flying around. Eddie Jackson, Clinton Dix. I mean, they had some studs. And but we were watching them on tape. We were like, man, these guys are good. They're flying around. Khalil Mack, I think this was one of his first years there, and he was, that was the whole talk. Khalil Mack coming to play the Raiders again. We're gonna go out and we're gonna punch Khalil Mack in the mouth. Yeah. First play of the game, we ran a naked. Our left tackle gets into him, Colton Miller. I go over there, get a little work on him, and then Josh Jacobs buzzes the tower and gives him a little shot. So we put him on notice. You're not gonna be running around out here doing crazy stuff. We're gonna have people on you.
Oh, dude, yeah, good memory, Richie. Roquan Smith and Danny Trevathan.
That's it.
They were on IR. They ended up on IR. Later in the year.
Roquan Smith, he was a hell of a player.
Beast, dude.
Trevathan was a player. I mean, he could run. But yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good defense right there.
Now, what's buzzing the tower mean?
Well, we're running a naked play, so we're running at Khalil. We're securing the line of scrimmage, then you're just going to find work. So Colton tied him up. I got my guy over to our center, Rodney. I went out there. I took a shot at him. So he's out there. He's kind of flailing around, and Josh Jacobs is coming out. As he's released into the flat, he whacked him too.
Yeah.
So he took one from me, one from Josh, and then he was like, all right, it's on. Like, let's go.
And that's what you have to do to a guy like Khalil Mack. You have to hit him every play. He's got to be hitting directions he doesn't know, so he 100%. Thinks. That's designed.
Wow.
You got to have they'll. I remember when we have David Andrews and we were playing,
Rams,
Aaron Donald.
Nightmare.
we would have double teams, and we'd have our center, like he have to clean the pile up. Always hit that guy. Look at him.
Finish over there.
Him,
yeah.
Finish over here.
For sure. It's a lost art for him. I think a lot of these pass rushers, they kind of get a pass in today's NFL because there's no fullback. There's not a lot of tight ends going back and getting chop blocks, but you got to rough that guy up. You got a premier D end out there. You got to give him different looks. You got to hit him on both sides of his head. You got to cut him. You got to make him question, what's going on instead of just flying up the field and giving it to those tackles. I don't think enough teams feature that.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool to see the Raiders kind of trying to do that to Max Crosby in camp, bring some bodies over there, get some people on him, and Max is just blowing up every play at training camp. Literally. We did a scrimmage one night, and it was, don't touch the quarterback. Everybody else is live, don't touch the quarterback. He came ripping off the edge, put Minshew on his head, sack fumble, and everybody was like, all right, Max could touch the quarterbacks. Max could touch the quarterbacks. But yeah, man, you got to give those guys up front hell, and you got a game plan for them. You're playing Aaron Donald, J.J. Watt, all these studs. You can't just go in there and run your base stuff. You got to have a plan for them.
Yeah. Now, who's a guy that you competed against? Because there's like game records. Who's someone that you were driving to the stadium like, all right, we got to get this guy that you knew it was going to be a long day.
Yeah.
It was going to be a tough day. It was going to be a day where you had to be involved with him every day. Is there one guy that sticks out?
I mean, it's Aaron Donald. 100%. It's Aaron Donald. What he was able to do with the 3 technique and the DN position, his movement and his kind of his athletic ability, he'd give you 3 pass rush moves and you'd be like, what was that? Like, I got a holding call on him once and I was like, that's bullshit, because I didn't even touch him. Like, he just spun around and did this crazy shit. But yeah, that's one of those guys where all pass protection rules are off. We're not sliding to backers. We're sliding to him wherever he is. He was a game record. J.J. Watt was like that. Like, you had to have a plan for J.J. Watt, or else J.J. Watt was going to pick on that backside tackle, make him look stupid, bend the corner, and go make plays. So, J.J. Watt, we always had some, always some special stuff in there. Trying to think who else. I mean, there's
any guys you get into it with? Who I know you fought. We know you.
Oh
fought.
yeah, definitely.
Who's someone that you knew you were gonna probably fight every time? Is there?
Yeah.
Because I had Benny I think I have Benny Sapp or something from the Dolphins. Who's the safety with you guys in the Dolphins?
Yeah, well, we had
Benny Sapp?
We had Sapp, yeah.
No, who's
I'm
there?
trying to think.
There's another one later.
Was it the big buff guy?
Nah, regardless, we were fighting every time we played.
Yeah. No, there was a bunch of guys, man. When I was younger, I used to work out with some guys that played for the Cardinals, Antonio Smith and Darnell Dockett. We used to work out together.
Yeah.
And then when
we worked out together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And when we started playing in the games, I mean, they hated me. The Cardinals were playing well. I was on the Rams and we were shit. And I was like, I'm just gonna try and fuck these guys up, you know. Not them, but everybody that was on that field. I was gonna take it out on them. But yeah, they had just clinched the NFC West. We're down in Arizona. I got my whole family there. And I'm coming off the field, and like we were talking shit. You know, you get separated, you walk away. I just turned around because there was a bunch of them. There was like 3 or 4 of them coming. So I was like, all right, I'm going over here. And Antonio Smith full ninja kicks me like on the back of the legs, and I go down on the field, and he gets a penalty flag. But yeah, with Antonio, I think he took my helmet off and swung it at me one time. I was getting after him in pass pro, and I had my hand up in his face, and you know, doing all sorts of crazy stuff. He took my helmet off and swung it at me, and thank God it was like 2 feet away from my face. I was just like,
Myles Garrett.
Yeah, he didn't make contact like Myles, but yeah. But we always had good battles. They were great players, and me and Dockett, we'd go back and forth. He was a great player, and they'd always put him on me. Like when we played the Pats, they'd always put Big Vince on me.
Yeah,
that was like my badge. Like, hey, I made it. Like Bill over there thinks that I'm good enough that they're going to put their best defensive lineman on me to take me out of the game. And me and Big Vince, man, we used to go at it. And I love Big Vince, man. He's awesome.
Remember
man.
Hootie on the pick, or he lit someone up when he dropped on one play.
Oh yeah. I saw that on film. He's a fucking beast, man. He was so good. I mean, he's one of the best nose guards ever in there.
He really is. He's definitely, he should be a Hall of Famer. He didn't get a lot of. His numbers won't show that he's a Hall of Famer because he did so, like he would take double teams and pressures and like he dictated a lot of offensive line play.
Oh, no doubt. You had to account for him. Yeah. I mean, he was the guy there forever. And the commotion that he caused in the middle would take some teams out of their game. I forget what year. I think it was 2011, and they were doing a Sports Illustrated piece on him. And you guys ran like a double linebacker blitz. And he started off this way and came back this way, and this linebacker came down, and we hit knee to knee. So I went down, and I go down. I think he gets the sack. We're in Vegas after the season, and it's Vince on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and I'm laying on the ground. It looks like he threw me on the ground and is running after the quarterback, and I'm like, great. I'm on cover of Sports Illustrated, but I'm on the ground flopping around.
Fucking Vince.
I would always try and not piss off Vince. You know what I mean? Like me and Vince, we had come out together. We were the same age. He went to Miami. They wanted me to play D-line at Miami. I went to Nebraska. I wanted to play offensive line. And I would never do Vince dirty. Like I would always helping him up. Hey, big boy, come on. Like so like we get after it and we compete, but like I always made sure to take care of my guy Vince.
Fucking V. Man, he's athletic as hell too. He's got some great feet. People don't realize he's like, well, he's lost a lot of weight now. So he's looking good.
Thin.
But he used to be like 4 feet, 5 feet wide, but he had ballerina feet.
Yeah. Quick feet.
We got to get him on this damn show.
We do.
So you were recruited by Miami?
Yeah, I was recruited by Miami coming out. That's basically who it came down to, Nebraska, Miami.
Wow.
And it was Greg Schiano. They kept pushing hard for me to play defensive line. And I just didn't like defense. I didn't like you had to pull off the quarterback. Like I didn't like, I played D-line like I was playing O-line. I was like pushing people around and blocking. I was just so much better offensive line. I like knowing the play. I like being able to go attack. So yeah, then it came down to Miami and Nebraska in the Rose Bowl that year for the national championship.
Any good recruiting trips?
I only went to Nebraska. I knew I wanted to go to Nebraska, so I went to Nebraska, had a good time, and I went there to win. I went there because they're weightlifting and their training. Like we were doing combine drills back in 2001. Yeah. And so the training was awesome. The lifting was everything. The only thing we didn't do was win. Yeah. So
last thing on the Bears, I remember I played in a snow game there and when it was like the renovation. And I think they just got plans for a new stadium, didn't they? It's gonna be sad because that's a fucking cool stadium to play in.
Yeah. It's like a spaceship.
Yeah.
Like a spaceship landed in the
But they also have the old thing around it, like the pillars and stuff.
Yeah. I played in some cold games up there, man. Cold games late in the year up there. But yeah, it's a special place, man. They're a great sports town. Do
you like a cold game as an offensive lineman?
I mean, yes and no. It depends. If If it's going to be cold and windy, that's fine. But if it's going to be cold and there's going to be a little precipitation, there's going to be a little rain, a little snow,
Footing.
something like that. Yeah, then you run into a footing issue. And I like clean, fast tracks. I want to see both teams on clean, fast tracks.
Yeah.
I played indoors my first 5 years in St. Louis, so we always had it. We always knew we'd have to factor in weather or some dumb shit happening. So, like, yeah, I like
Clean track.
clean tracks. I just don't like if it's gonna be cold, it just better not rain. If it's raining and cold, that's not
That's
good.
the worst. I'd rather have snow than rain.
100%.
It's
But then also like being up north and being a team up north, you got to worry about the heat. You got to worry about going to Miami in September.
Well, that's why we'd always get, it'd be 30 degrees, 22 degrees in Foxborough. We go to Miami, it's 82, 78% humidity. Just shocks us. That'd be the only time we'd practice in the bubble is when we were going in December to play against Miami, and Bill would turn the heat up for 3 days, and they would spray it in there and try to make the humidity
Oh, really?
up for, and we'd have to wear long sleeves. They wanted us to sweat.
Yeah.
So it shocked your system. You had to get used to it.
Yeah. Well, you know, going into that, you're going to cramp up. Coming out of that game, it's
Yeah.
like the cramps are going to hit me. Just hopefully not in the second quarter. Hopefully they wait till the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I was always pretty good though. With just the hydration and the calorie intake, like a lot. If you stay on top of it, you're straight.
Yeah. Well, playing down there, man, we're practicing that shit every day. That's the killer. I had some tough, I had Bill Parcells and Tony Sperano down there. And we're going to practice at 1 o'clock. We're going to use the heat to our advantage. And I mean, it tore us up.
How was the tuna?
Tuna's awesome, man. He was great. He would come by and he would just give you like a quick one-liner like, hey, Richie, pass blocking is just staying in front of the other guy. Like, yeah, hell yeah. All right, man. He was awesome, though. The tuna was awesome. I got a good story about him. So they had signed a free agent center the year before I got there. He was kind of like set in his own ways and like, he wasn't really a team first guy. And he had some small injury and they said, hey, you should be playing. He was like, no, I'm hurt. I can't play. So he was in the second year of his deal and he's down there. And one day Bill Parcells is like, we're going to run this guy till he quits. So he had the strength coach run this guy on half gassers. This is Miami full throat heat. And this kid's just running gassers. And basically he got to the point where he was just walking back and forth and he would walk over and he'd come back and the strength coach would look at Parcells and Parcells would be like, yep, make him run another. And he went boop, 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 boop. Next day, cut him.
Jeez.
It was brutal, man. It was some crazy stuff like that going on.
That was the old days. Jackie, let's get into these Raiders.
The Raiders, don't you mean the Raiders? The Raiders, baby. This was the 60th year of the Raiders, baby. The 60th season. Pretty sweet. 7-9 record, third in the AFC West. This was the second year of the Gruden era. OC, Greg Olson, not the tight end, different spelling. Paul Gunther running the defense, coming off a 4-12 season. And unfortunately, this was the last year in Oakland, baby. The last year. And this was the first year of the Mayock era as GM for his full season. This was Richie's first year in Oakland, too. And we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about AB there in the preseason.
Oh,
it was a
AB.
short-lived,
AB,
but crazy.
Yeah, it was short. His locker was right next to mine. His locker was right next to me. I love AB. I mean, I thought he was a hell of a player.
He's charming, too.
Yeah, I wish.
He's a charming guy.
I really wish it would have worked out for us and he would have played for us because we need him. I mean, look at these numbers right here. Derek Carr, 70% completion, 4,000 yards passing, 21 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. And that's without AB. AB was supposed to be the number one.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs, he's a rookie, 242 carries, 1,150 yards, 7 touchdowns. Waller, 90 receptions, 1,100 yards.
I mean, we probably would have won the Super Bowl if he stayed on our team that year.
No doubt. I mean, he's a difference maker, bro.
Literally, like we had him for 2 weeks.
In Miami, that Miami game, we had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he had 2 touchdowns, but we had him, and it was the cleanest practices I've ever seen. As far as because AB was there, Josh Gordon was starting to make everyone. The play went up because you see AB, you'd see AB would run a crazy route. There wasn't a ball on the ground.
Yeah.
For the 2 weeks.
Yeah, he catches everything.
Well, no, I'm saying for the whole team.
Oh, really?
Just the execution of the team
Yeah.
because everyone, he brought everyone, everyone's like, all right, AB's here. I want to show what I could do.
Yeah.
So then Josh Boyce made a play or Philip Dorsett started making play. You know what I mean? It was crazy. It was good. I just wish we had him in the end of the season.
Same here. I wish we had him more. We had him in OTAs, and he was electric. I mean, him and Derek's a hell of a quarterback. I got a lot of respect for Derek.
Yeah.
But he throws some balls and AB come down with that thing. He comes sprinting back the huddle and then go do it again. And I was like, oh man, I can't wait to play with this dude. Like, let's go.
Any funny stories with AB?
Funny stories. I mean, no, like the one AB story I had, no one's allowed in the locker room, right? Like nobody outside. And like I would come in from practice after OTAs and he'd have a couple people there, guy taking pictures and this, that, and the other. And one of these kids is sitting in my locker and I'm like, who the fuck are you? Get out of my fucking seat. And AB's like, no, he's with me. He's with me. I was like, I'm about to punch this nerd in the face. Like, what are you doing in my seat, bro? But yeah, AB, man.
Who the fuck brought their little brother to the locker room?
Bro, nothing like stuffing a nerd in the locker when he's already in the locker.
That's it. It just sets the tone.
And this was all. I mean, this was a great rookie class for the Raiders too. We already talked about Josh Jacobs, our boy Max Crosby, Cleveland Farrell, Hunter Renfrow. Like This was a good Mayock draft. I mean, pretty sweet.
This was awesome. I mean, I wish we still had Hunter on the team. I wish we still had Waller on the team.
I know.
Wish we still had Josh on the team.
I can't believe Renfro's still a free agent.
I know, that's insane, man. I know. Crazy. I can't believe that one of these coaches hasn't said, "Let me pick that guy up, and I'm going to put a whole package in for Hunter Renfrow." That's why Gruden was so great because he could get guys open. He would scheme stuff up. He would see stuff. He's like McVay. They see this game at such a high level in these matchups, and like, all right, we're going to do this. They do this. We're going to do this. But
Jacoby Myers good. He's a baller.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Not enough balls to go around.
Yeah, he is a beast.
I was so mad when the Patriots let him walk. I thought he would have been. He's electric. He's great in the run game. Yeah, he works hard.
Dude, he makes some crazy catches. Like he throws his body around out there.
But he's also great at release game. He's great at running routes.
Yeah,
he can win on man coverage.
Yeah, I seen some catches during camp. You're like, damn, that's big time right there.
It's been fun to watch him. You guys were featured on Hard Knocks. What's it like having cameras?
Hard Knocks, yeah.
Was that your second time?
That was my second time. Yeah, I was on it once with the Dolphins, and then this time.
Dolphins? You weren't there with Dola? Oh no, that was Dola and Dola. Yeah.
Was Chad Johnson on that team
in Miami?
Yeah. With Hard Knocks.
Yeah. He was. That was the year. Yeah.
That was old Kiss.
Another guy I was excited to play with. I was like, "Fuck yeah, we got Ocho Cinco. Let's go!" And then he's gone before the season starts. I don't know, something happened. But yeah, the Hard Knocks is cool. I mean, there's cameras everywhere. It gets annoying after a while. You're just, at first the cameras everywhere. They're kind of a distraction, and then you kind of phase them out. You don't think about it, and then at the end of camp, you're like, get out of here.
Which guys are performing? There's got to be guys out there like, hey, man.
Oh, yeah, I'll doing all sorts of dumb stuff. Yeah, big fines for that.
They get fined?
Oh, I'll find them. I'll find their ass.
What's the Richie fine?
Like, we got the stupid fucking rookie fine, being just a dumbass rookie. That's a fine. And then I played back in the day when, I held the fine book, you paid the fines, I collected the money, and I made up the fines. But we'd always have fun with it. We'd always take it on a trip. We'd always get a PJ and go somewhere after the season. So the boys everyone always loved it.
Yeah. The stupid fucking rookie fine.
SFR.
The old SFR.
SFR.
What does a rookie have to do to get that fine?
I mean, they could do anything. They could be talking to the GM. They could have some quotes in the media. Oh yeah, I can't wait to play and do this. It's like, bro, you're the third string right tackle. You're not going to see the field. Shut up. Yeah, rookies are just so funny because they are just so lost. Some of them, they have no which way. They don't know which way's up. But yeah, we had a bunch of fines, man. Talking to the GM or talking to the head coach, that was a big one. Not even a rookie, just anybody.
You just can't. Why can't you talk to him?
What, are you trying to big time us? You're going above our heads. We're trying to get a pay raise or something. We used to keep it fun, $50 here, $75 there.
What was the biggest fine?
Oh, frick. I don't know, man. The thing with the fine book was we had the fines, we wrote them all down, everybody was in agreement, and then you had to pay by the next game. So Saturday, everyone was bringing me money, bringing me cash, and then I'd give it to another offensive lineman. We had the safes in the locker. He'd keep it up there. So we ran. I didn't do this every season, but a couple seasons we did this, and we had a blast. 1 year we got on a jet, went down to the islands, played golf for like a week, and it's all on fine money. And sometimes the fine money wouldn't cover it, and a couple of us just throw on top and just go have fun. So
that's awesome. That's camaraderie.
That's it, man. That's creating buy-in. You got to get these guys. Offensive linemen are like grazed animals. They just kind of hang out and they do their thing, and they want to work hard. They'll work hard and they'll do this. But to be a great offensive line, you have to be the lifeblood of the entire team. You have to be the hardest working guys. You got to be setting the standard every day. You know what the standard is. You got to show up and prove the standard every day so that you can get everybody else to fall in line. And that's what I was to offensive linesmen. I was that hot poker. I was that guy stirring shit up. I was holding up the standard with training, sleep, nutrition, playing well. And I was very vocal about other guys and getting them to grow up and become pros. Accountability, fuck yeah, man. It's at the pro game, it's so tough. It's so tough to get all these guys to come together. You were in New England. You guys had a very unique situation. I played on a lot of teams that we were just fighting to be 8-8, and you're just trying to get everybody in the boat rowing in the same direction. And I think, that's really what my specialty was, getting the guys to come together, getting the guys bought in, because, they see me every day running like crazy after practice and watching film with the young guys and doing all this stuff. And it raises everybody else's level of play.
Yeah. That's the difference. There was one of you on that team. There was 25 of those guys on like our team.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I mean? So that everyone talks of the Patriot way. It's like if everyone was like that, where you make it a competition to make everyone better.
Right.
So if you're in the weight room, I'm going to do more than you. Oh, no, you're not doing more than me. I'm going to do more than you. The more you can do. That was like the saying around our thing. And it's crazy because I've never been in a locker room where it's been like that. Richie's been in a lot of locker rooms where, which I've heard that, a lot of guys aren't there just to play football. A lot of guys want to be famous. A lot of guys want to get money.
Yeah.
When you always hear the GM or the coach say, we want guys that love football, that's like the core of like how you have success. Yeah. Guys that are, able to be in a team, that understand mental toughness, which is doing something that's best for the team when it's not necessarily best for you.
Right.
That was on our board, so, it sucks because guys like you that tried to hold people to that standard, you didn't play in very many important games.
No, fuck no.
You know what I mean?
Two playoff appearances.
But then you got, you guys that go onto that, come onto a team like ours, or you go to the Chiefs where it's like that. Some guys take that shit for granted. They're there for 1 year. They don't realize it's not like that everywhere.
Right. Well, it's culture, right? You're like, it's hard to find guys that truly love football, right? That truly love football and that are going to be a professional and have their process and have their way of preparing and have their way of taking care of their body and being able to set the standard out there on the field. It's hard to find those guys. And when you're on these teams and you're 7-9 and you're coming back and you're thinking, all right, we have all these studs, we're coming back, we're 7-9, 2 or 3 wins, we're over the hump, we're in the playoffs, we're playing in meaningful games. So that was what was always driving me. It was like, let's get this shit right. Like 8-8 is not good enough. And like to get guys to come in and buy in, I've been on teams where we start out the season, you lose the first 2 games, and it's like we're coming off an 8-8 season, we're coming back. We lose the first 2 games in kind of heartbreaking fashion. One game it was raining, some bullshit happened, and everyone's kind of scattering like roaches. And it's like, dude, we're 2 weeks into this. We got another 3 months of this, boys. Like, let's fucking go. And I think that's what I would hope, what my teammates say, I was in that foxhole. I was ready to go every fucking day. I was ready to bring the noise. I was ready to go out there, start shit, protect my guys, get the boys going. And that's what I prided myself on, being a leader, being that guy that set the standard, being the guy that would call out guys who weren't setting the standard or who weren't performing to the standard. But yeah, I fought my whole life just to play in 2 playoff games.
Yeah, and that's how real this game is.
It's hard to win, man. It's
hard.
It's hard to win. It's hard to win, and it's hard to win consistently.
Hard to win consistently. What makes you a Raider?
Oh, the whole thing, man. I'm the whole package, the Raider.
Well, but the word, like, whenever you hear someone like,
well, he's a Raider.
He's a Raider.
Oh, he's gritty. I mean, my thing was I was going to fly around. I was going to cause a bunch of havoc. I was going to beat people up. I was going to drop people on their head. I was trying to pancake everybody I came in contact with. And that brought the other guys around along too. They brought me in here to mentor Colton Miller. He was their young left tackle. They spent the 15th overall pick on him in 2018. I came in and he was a nervous wreck. I got in the huddle the first day and this, and I was like, after practice, I was like, listen, brother, shut up. Let me listen to the center, and I'm going to tell you what to do on every single play. And that's why I was really good about getting young guys coming along. Colton Miller, Deion Dawkins in Buffalo, a couple other guys. These guys had to come in and they had to play really fast. And to just be able to be like, hey, you have that guy, you do this. So, but I think, going back to being a Raider, I was kind of this journeyman. I played for a bunch of different teams. I had a crazy reputation, always in some shit off the field, always going through some stuff. And, I just kept rolling along and I just kept going. And that's what a Raider is. A Raider is, it's not always going to be perfect, but as long as you keep moving forward and you keep coming to fight every day, you have that spirit about you, that essence. That's what to me is being a Raider, being that guy every day, being that tough guy, being that hard-minded individual when it's week 16, everybody's fucking hurt and everyone's tired, and I'm out there running half gassers after practice. It's that switch you flip and go out there and dominate.
Who's the Mount Rushmore of Raiders?
Mount Rushmore Raiders is a good question. I mean, it's got to be Jim Otto, got to be Kenny Stabler, Gene Upshaw, another offensive lineman, Marcus Allen, Fred Bolitnikoff. So many great names.
Howie Long.
Howie Long?
Oh, Howie Long. Oh, I love Howie. Oh, I can't believe I forgot Howie. No, I love Howie, man.
I work with Howie.
Dude, Howie's the man.
He's the man.
I love Howie. He lives right next to me in Scottsdale, so I'll go grab lunch with him every now and again. And I played with both his sons. Well, I played with Chris.
Yeah.
And then we
love
used to,
Chris.
Chris
I
is
played
the
with
man.
Chris one
Oh,
year.
he's so funny, dude.
Holding court in the locker room always.
Always.
Always holding court.
Always.
Talking to someone.
Arguing about who the best rapper is or this, and then
We get
Hey,
it.
what about this? What? And just always talking.
Always holding court in the locker room.
Always arguing over some dumb shit. And then and then you got
Kyle's opposite.
Oh, I know you
Remember,
got
we
Kyle.
used to trade with Kyle.
Yes.
You and me and Kyle.
Yes.
I mean,
The
I
bear.
remember we would do, he was still playing baseball, remember?
Yep.
He was just coming out of Oregon or something.
Yep.
And fucking, we're doing ladder drill. And you guys don't realize, like, Kyle and Richie had, like, really fast feet for linemen. They're doing fucking, I just remember we'd have, like, 2 fast-ass linemen. Then you'd have some guy come in out of, like, a lot of guys, when you work out in LA, you get a lot of hub guys that, like, if they're doing a commercial, they'll do a week at Exos, but they'll do that kind of shit. Where we were there for a while, and you could see and compare the other guys to, the group of. That's why you go to those things. It creates competition.
Yeah.
And so you'd see a guy come in, and I'm like, oh, they don't have those feet.
Yeah, they don't got that dog in them. Yeah, hell no.
Shit.
Yeah, I had some wheels, bro. I ran a 4.84 at the combine at 310. I mean, I had some wheels, and that was training at Exos. Coming home and training to be a better athlete, not just a better football player.
Yeah.
I see so many of these young guys. They'll go home and they'll just pass set for 3 months and
Yeah.
deadlift heavy and lift all this crazy stuff. It's like, no, you gotta break it down. You gotta be flexible. You gotta be able to move. And
Functional strength.
Functional strength, yeah, for sure. All these guys that lift heavy weights, they can't move.
That's good, but it was always good. I always liked going to Exos early in the off season. Like that's where I would start because it wouldn't be heavy lifting.
Yeah.
It would be more isolated, single leg stuff, intricate knee muscles, ankle stability stuff, getting your glute firing, all the stuff that you want to strengthen before you get into the heavyweights.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
That
there's-
ramp up period. Yeah. Doing all the stuff for your tendons and
Yes.
making sure everything was good. Yeah, for sure.
I loved going there, and I still think that I don't know if it's there still.
So there's
Our LA's gone.
Well, there's a location in El Segundo now with UCLA Health. They got a spot over there. That's where I train my guys at. But yeah, that
They have outdoor weight room still.
no,
That was the sickest
was
part
it.
of ours.
That was the best
because
That
we had
was the
outdoor
best.
weight room, and then we could jump in and do there's a 6-yard turf, so you could incorporate plyometric with lifting, and you could do a field movement with your workout. You know what I mean? So that's why I always loved going there.
Yeah, that was awesome. That field,
And
that
we'd be
we had.
getting tans and shit, getting yoked
Yeah.
up, shirts off. You
Yeah,
see some
that
tennis
was fun.
guys and tennis babes walking by.
Nice.
We're just working out like animals.
Animals.
Jules was an animal. Like Jules, you didn't lose. Like we'd be warming up, going back and forth, and you couldn't lose that rep. Like you'd have to be a hair faster than everybody, and then I'd watch you run, and you do your drills and your cutting and running and stuff like that. I mean, we were some hosses, dude. I remember the one time we were on the Versa Climber, and you and me are just getting it. We're the only two there. We're in the basement on like a Friday, and we're getting after it. We were both like, damn, man, I wish I could get up there to New England. I wish I could come up there and
I
play with
know.
you boys. I was like, you got to talk to Bill.
I tried to when we got rid of Logan Mankins.
Yeah, Logan. he
Remember
was a hell
we
of a
traded
player.
Logan, and we were down a guard. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I went up to Casario. I'm like, yo, man, I trained with Incognito, and you were going through some shit at that time.
Yeah, it was
so it
after
was
all the
kind of
Miami stuff, yeah.
So it was kind of tough. Like they didn't want to jump into it.
Yeah. I had to serve my year out of the league. I had to take a year off so that
Yeah.
the dust could settle.
You
on
had a
that.
year of vacation.
What was funny about that is it was the next year, and I was going to look at teams, and I was getting ready to go back out there. And I was down in Tampa, and I was meeting with the Buccaneers, and everything was going great. I met with them. Everything went well. And then, like, the GM, Lick, came in to a meeting, and, like, he looked like he saw a ghost. He was, like, white in the face, and I was like, what's going on? Did you guys find out something that I didn't know about? Like, what's going on? And he was just like, oh, okay, yeah, we're going to get you back to the team hotel, and then we'll call you tomorrow and let you know. And I go back to the team hotel, wake up, don't hear from them. They booked me a flight. I go home, and they had traded for Logan Mankins.
Yeah.
That's when they brought Mankins in. So they kind of used me as a pawn to kind of work him, and if it didn't work out with him, they're going to sign me. But
Yeah.
Mankins was the man. I watched a ton of tape on Mankins coming out. We were the same year.
Wow.
And, you know, with Dante and the O-line coach up there, I mean, I was looking to Logan to teach me stuff that my coaches couldn't teach me because I played some bad places. I had some bad coaches.
Yeah.
And, you know, Logan always sitting on that down hand. And, like, I took a lot of pass blocking cues from Logan. He was a stud, man.
And he was the cattle rancher, bro.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
In the off season, his training was moving hay and shit.
That's real man
He just
shit.
farmed. Like,
Yeah, he was a stud.
He was an all-state basketball player.
I didn't know that.
In California.
Was he from Fresno?
Yeah, he's from like east north California. It's like it's country as fuck.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know,
I got to play in a Pro Bowl with him in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And my dad was a big fan of him too, so it was just like having beers with Logan Mankins.
He's a cool guy.
Awesome dude. Like, yeah.
And his dad's a smaller dude. It's crazy. I'm like, how'd you poop out this guy? His hands. Like, Logan had hands that would wrap around your forehand. Like, you got
Yeah.
big hands too, but like, yeah, he was just, and he
Logan-
was always down to fight.
Oh yeah, he was a scrappy motherfucker.
Scrappy.
Yeah. He had a great tradition at the Pro Bowl because he had made $1 million in a row. So I made my first one. He's like, hey, this is the most important tradition of all. He goes, this first Tuesday night meeting, it's going to be all security and bullshit about setting up the whole week. He'd bring a cooler of beer into that meeting, and all the O-line be sitting there drinking beer in that first Pro Bowl meeting. And then, you know, sometimes in the morning the next day at the Pro Bowl, you're hungover because you're in Hawaii with 30 of your friends going nuts. And he'd always have a little cooler with him everywhere he went. He'd be like, here, get one of these, bud, that make you feel better.
Logan could play drunk. I think
Probably,
I think
yeah.
Logan could play drunk.
He loved
and
some
you wouldn't
beers.
know he was drunk.
Yeah. He was a salty dude, just like he was a great player, man.
Nasty.
Nasty dude. Because, I mean, you look at him, you line him up next to a bunch of other starting offensive linemen, and you're like, oh, he's not a player. Like,
Yeah.
he's not big, he's not huge, he's not really tall, but he is just thick and strong, and that
Strong as
motherfucker could
fuck.
play.
And he could run.
Yeah. Yeah.
He could get to the next level. And he was long. He had long arms.
Yeah.
Remember, he had those long arms.
I watched him, man. He would just lock people out.
What's it like playing in the Pro Bowl?
Awesome, man. Amazing experience.
Like
Really-
O-line though. Like O-line play it there. You guys like brother-in-law.
Like for me, the thing was I never had playoff games or Super Bowls or stuff
Yeah.
like that. So the pinnacle of my career was always Pro Bowls.
Yeah.
You know, that was being recognized as by your peers and your coaches
Yeah.
as one of the best. But playing in the game sucks. You know, we were down in Hawaii, and like I said, you know, the first year I brought 10 people, then the next year 15, then the next year we're in Turtle Bay and I got like friggin' 25, 30 people with me. So it's an awesome experience for the friends and the family, and you're running around, you know, you're hiking up waterfalls and doing helicopter tours and doing all this crazy stuff. And then the game comes on Sunday. So the Dolphins had just mailed all my equipment. They mailed me a brand new helmet. I hadn't put it on, hadn't got the straps done. My jersey's way too big. I'm a mess before the game. And we go out and we're doing pregame warmups. And it was when the AFC and the NFC squads were blended.
Yeah.
So I had Aaron Donald on my team, and we're just doing walkthrough before the game in our pads, and he jacks me under the chin. My helmet straps are everywhere. I was just like, bro, we're just getting started. Calm down. He's like, oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm good. So, yeah, the worst part about it is playing in that game on Sunday. I mean, dude, I just made it off of OTAs, training camp, the season.
Yeah.
I took a month off. I mean, I've done a little working out, but now you want me to come down here and play in Hawaii in 90-degree heat?
I know.
Like, I'm not playing. I'm not, out there just playing nice.
Brother-in-law, you got to hit up the guy on the other side and say, hey, man, chill on this one.
Take it
I'll
easy.
give you one.
We were
Not
down
this
in
one.
Orlando one year, and there's only 3 guys at your position, so you got to play left guard, then you got to play right guard, and then you come out. My right guard sets are trash. I mean, I've been playing left my entire career, so it's me and Lawan, and we got to go in on the right side. And they used to give the player of the game a car. So Michael Bennett's over there, and he wants this piece of shit Hyundai, and he's playing his fucking mind out, right? So he's over there giving Lawan the business, like he's giving us both the business. We're not right side guys. So it was late in the game, and I was like, all right, Lawan, I'm going to make sure the center's good. Overset him, I'm going to come out there, I'm going to clean his clock, and we're going to slow his ass down. So sure as shit, keep my eyes out there. He's out there messing around. He comes and turns around, and I just blast his ass, stuff him in the ground, shut down his rush. He wasn't too active the rest of the game. And then we're on this like Pro Bowl call like a couple weeks later, and they're asking players, how was your experience, this, that, and the other. And so there's like 4 of us on the call, and Michael Bennett, they say, oh, it's Michael Bennett, Richie Incognito, this guy. Michael Bennett goes, oh, man, hell no. Fuck that. My back still hurts. Just laid the wood on him. So, yeah, that was fun, man.
Oh, my God. The Bennetts are funny.
Oh, yes.
Those guys are funny dudes. I played with Marty.
Yep.
And he was a baller. I mean, they're fucking really good football players, but they're funny guys in the room.
Yeah, they were characters, man. Michael Bennett used to play with those small pads, and that's back when
those were shells, bro. Those weren't.
Yeah,
even
no,
pads.
I know.
This guy's playing in shells.
I know. And they found the cheat code. They found play him in a 4-eye. That's good luck backside tackle cutting him off. Good luck running the ball at him. Like there's a bunch of stuff you couldn't do. But yeah, those pads, you try and get him in pass protection. There's nothing to grab.
Nothing. He knew that. That's why he did it. All right, Jackie, give us a game lead
Should
up.
we hit the lead up real quick? This game was in London, the 27th
London,
game.
mate.
Hey, mate. That was Australian. Jeez.
That was crikey.
27th game ever played in London in the NFL. This was week 5. The Bears were coming in 3-1 on a 3-game winning streak. Raiders were 2-2. Each team was coming off a win. The big storyline we mentioned earlier, Khalil Mack, baby. First time against his old team.
That's why you picked this game.
Little trash talk going on.
I mean, all this was going on, all this stuff leading up to it. We're over in England, and we're hearing all this stuff. The Bears are the best. It's this and this and this. I'm like, all right, put it on the line. Let's go.
Khalil Mack was absolutely balling out this year, too.
Yeah, he was going
4.5 sacks through 4 weeks, 4 forced fumbles. I mean, crazy.
3 in the first game, I think. I remember that.
And then Maurice Jones-Drew was on the NFL Network saying he thought he could have 5.5 sacks this game. Just crazy talk.
5.5.
Everybody was getting it on the
Mojo?
bulletin. Yes, bro.
Little bowling ball.
Mojo, bro.
Mojo, I used to watch him at De La Salle.
Yeah.
Remember De La
Yeah.
Salle?
Oh, yeah.
I love Mojo. He was such a swaggy little running back in high school.
Beast.
I mean, he was fucking killer at UCLA in the pros, too.
Yeah, he was.
And
Bowling ball.
we got to
Yeah.
mention this is a Chase Daniel game.
Chase
Maybe
Daniel.
the first
Wow.
Chase Daniel game we've done on Games with Names, baby. His history in the nut
Are
house.
you a Chase Daniel fan, Jack?
Fuck no. Who is? Sorry, man. No shade to Chase, but he was kind of slinging it this game, though. Trubisky went out
This
the week
is
before
probably
this.
the game that guy, he just retired. The guy had a great backup
Yeah, he was a great
quarterback
backup
career.
for sure.
Dude, he played that Kansas Missouri game with Jeremy Maclin when Kansas was sick and Missouri was sick.
Yeah.
Got to do that game.
I see him on TV. He does NFL Network stuff, right? He's doing all right. He's good.
He had some nice throws in
He
this
had
game.
some decent throws. I watched this game.
Nah, man, sorry. I came down on Chase too hard there.
you
I don't like doing that. I like lifting people up and spreading positivity, and here I am trashing the man.
It's all right.
But yeah, Mitch hurt
It's
his.
not hot and ready right now. That's why.
I was gonna say the hot and ready signs on over there, baby.
He likes to
glaze time.
He glazes.
But yeah,
Glazed
Mitch
donut.
Trubisky got hurt the week before. Hurt his shoulder against the Vikings, so had to bring old Chase in here.
Man, Mitch.
Mitch, bro.
Trubisky.
I played in the London game. How'd you like those?
Loved him. I went over twice, and then we went over for the whole time. So one time we played in Buffalo, and then we flew out that night. This time we played in Indy. We got some food after the game and then flew out, and we stayed out at that hotel way out in Watford.
Yeah.
And it was awesome, man. I really enjoyed myself both times.
I did too. It's something when you're, we're such a domestic sport. And like we're professional athletes, and you hear the basketball guys and the hockey guys, they all play in international. They get the Olympics. The soccer guys internationally you get to go to other countries and see other cultures. It's like our first experience of like really doing that. It's so cool. I'm so excited for the league going to Brazil this
Yeah,
year.
that'll be cool.
When we went to Mexico City, I think these are fun trips for not just the guys, but it's great for the league. It's trying to grow this league internationally. And I had such a fun time. Did all the tour shit.
Yeah, oh
We
yeah.
did a walkthrough in Hyde Park. No one knew what the fuck we were doing. We had Tom Brady. You got Randy Moss was there.
That's legendary.
And
That's awesome.
People are just walking by like, whatever. Hey, mate, what the fuck is this thing?
Yeah. It's so funny, the London games, they're great too. I agree. They're great.
Grass sucks, though.
Oh, the grass is terrible. That's
long.
that grass. It's soccer grass.
Yeah.
For the ball skipping across it, not for us big guys running on it.
Tears up so quick with guys like him.
Slick. Slick. No, there's no footing really.
Yeah.
It's just
You gotta
it's
use
all
7
tearaway. Yeah, it's all tearaway. But yeah, it's awesome. I mean, to go over there and bring family and friends and have them come enjoy the game and then run around do all the touristy stuff and then get the dub. That's the most important
That's
part.
the most important part.
So you played twice in London?
Yeah, I played once with the Bills in I think 15 or 16, and then
Was that at Wembley and this was at Tottenham Stadium?
yeah. So yeah, I played at Wembley the first time. Did you play at Wembley?
I played at Wembley.
Yeah, played at Wembley, and that was awesome. I mean, that was so legendary.
It was cool.
That was cool.
I didn't
Small
play
locker
Tottenham.
rooms. Tottenham was sick. Tottenham
It
was
was
awesome.
new though, right?
Yeah, that was the first NFL game they did. They did that dual use, so they had turf for us.
Wow.
And it was a Raiders home game, so everything was jet black. And that was what's funny about the London games. All the fans show up wearing just all random jerseys throughout the NFL. You know, there's all like people wearing kickers jerseys. And when we played in Wembley, it was us versus Jacksonville. It was kind of an okay game, and they were just cheering every time there was a kick, like a punt or a kickoff, and they were like, "Yes!" It's like, no, that's not the fun part.
Yeah, it's exact. I tell that exact same thing to everyone.
Yeah.
They always kickoffs, field goals, punts.
They love it. They're like, "Yeah, let's go." Like, you don't know what you're watching. Like this is the real action. Let the big boys get on the field. Let us get running around. But yeah, Tottenham's sick. I mean, like world class. Our place I heard our place in Vegas was a similar designer or took inspiration from it, but it was really
That's
cool.
a beautiful stadium.
Yeah.
Alliance. I mean,
Allegiant, yeah.
or Allegiant.
Yeah, it's the best. I like it because it's a unique place where you go play and everything is silver and black.
Everything.
There's Raiders logos everywhere.
The fucking stadium's black.
Yeah.
So sick.
It's sick. It's sick. You know, you go to some places like back in the day, the Meadowlands, to go play the Giants and the Jets, and they just take down the green banners and put up the blue ones for the Giants, and it's just like all concrete and stuff. So I love Allegiant Stadium. I'd love to see that place rocking, man. I'd love to see a 10, 12 win team there.
Me too. It'd be good for the league. Jack, what's up with this game? Let's what do we got?
We talked about this one a little bit earlier. Richie alluded to some of it. The Raiders got out fast early and set the tone. Josh Jacobs running that ball down their throat, baby. That's Raider football right there behind the big O-line. Pretty balanced also. Derek Carr, he only had one incomplete pass in the first half. Got on the board first with a Josh Jacobs TD. Then a Chase Daniel interception. DeAndre Washington TD. Knocked in a field goal after that. Got up 17-0 at the half. Then the Bears caught some breaks. Got hot in the third. Started out with the Derek Carr errant pitch to Josh Jacobs. Gave the Bears the good field position. Punched it in for a David Montgomery TD. Then 2 Allen Robinson tutties. Next thing you know, it's 21-17 going into the fourth. It's like, oh, fuck, what happened?
Yeah.
What are you thinking about when they're climbing back?
You know, we had so much success in the first half around the ball and being, you know, I mean, all our stuff was hitting. We were going down our script, boom, 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 get in the red zone. Hey, we're going to do this. Everything was hitting. And then like so many games this year, you know, the defense was kind of always, it was like, all right, when's the dam going to break, you know? And they kind of scored real quick, scored in bunches. And that's why I really like this game, because we had a fight. We had to dig deep to go get that touchdown in the fourth quarter. And that wasn't like we went down the field and we kicked a field goal. Like we went down methodically. We started, I think, at like our own 6-yard line, something like that. We went all the way down the field and we scored that touchdown. And that was fun.
Yeah, that was what really capped it off. At the end there, that started on the that was a 97-yard scoring drive.
Yeah, we started on the
Insane.
3-yard line.
Insane.
And you got, you know, you're
That takes clock and gives them less time, and it's a touchdown.
Yep.
That's a big situation right there.
It's crazy. And you can't forget about Gruden showing his big old paws, going for it on 4th and 1, fake punt. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
On their own.
Penalty.
Yes, bro. That was sick.
Yep.
That was
On
sick.
their
That kept the
25.
drive going. There was some wild special teams action in the second half. A
Cohen.
71-yard punt return by Cohen. Good career, man, just retired. Led to a score. Then you got Trevor Davis answers that with a 52-yard kick return, gets him in good field position. Then he comes down and fumbles on the 1.
I know.
Bummer.
You remember that number 11 on your squad? He fumbled
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
in the red area.
What was his name? I do remember that now.
Trevor Davis.
Trevor Davis. That was it. He was fast. Hold on to the football, please.
Crazy.
Ball security's job security.
Amen. But yeah, great last drive. Foster Moreau had big catches. Hunter Renfrow had big catches. And then in typical fashion, Josh Jacobs flying over the top to punch it in.
That's a great jump,
And seal
too.
this.
That was a sick
That
play.
was so sick.
That was sick. I chopped the shit out of the nose guard. He thought I was going to come and try and he thought I was going to take him on up high, because that's how we usually block that play. Rodney was a great center. He can go front side. Me, I'm going to cut down that backside. I usually go high on that one. But we were in London, and I was like, I know he's going to fire forward. I went, I cut his ass out, and Josh jumped right over him, right where his big body was supposed to be.
Yeah.
He scored, man, and that was nuts. I remember going to the locker room. Oh, the Bears that year, I think that year or the year before, they started doing the locker room celebration where they had the disco, and they were dancing and stuff. So we got in the locker room, and Gruden's like, let's do our little fucking dance. Let's go fuck them.
Wait, so was there was straight bulletin board material for this game?
Yeah, 100%, man. You know, it was the Raiders not getting a deal worked out with Khalil Mack, and then him leaving, and us going into that game. I think I saw our defense hadn't had any sacks, so we just got rid of our best pass rusher, and now we have literally no one to replace him with. And now they're balling out. He's got 4.5 sacks. We have no sacks. So I mean, you're literally just speaking to the offensive line like, this defense is great. This guy's on a tear. Like, that's on us as offensive linemen. I'm whipping the boys up all week. I'm showing them the quotes. Hey, this is what being said. You know, we're all talking about it. And then you know, to go out there and I don't know how many. I think Mac didn't have a sack in this game.
Yeah, he didn't. He
had a
didn't
QB
do,
pressure.
He had a QB pressure. I mean, didn't do.
Yeah, he didn't do much.
He didn't do much of anything. It was. He ended up with 3 tackles. That was it.
Yeah, I mean that's huge, man. I mean you come into this game and the guy's got 4.5 sacks, 4 sacks through the first 4 games. He's at least going to get one.
Yeah.
But you know we took that as motivation and we used that all week to prepare hard, get ready, get our minds right, and go in there and play a physical game.
That's a great point, Richie.
Now,
Go ahead.
Because of that bulletin board material, is that what probably led to you getting those 2 flags?
No, the first one was good. The first one, good old Buster Skrine. Remember Buster Skrine?
yeah.
from
Oh,
the
yeah.
Jets? Buster Skrine
Great
is
name.
always kind of around the ball, always causing some shit. So Josh was going down the field, and Josh is a young rookie, and we're at this point, we're a couple games into the season. We're like, oh man, this kid's gonna be a stud. Like you hand him the ball, he's different. And so he was, I don't know if it was a pass or a run, and he's kind of making some moves, and I see Buster making a beeline to hit Josh, and Josh is already on the ground. So I kind of go in there, kind of protect Josh a little bit, and I'm getting up, and I just shoved his head in the turf like, fuck you, buddy. This is going to be a long day because I'm coming for you now. And then, the chop block penalty, that was unfortunate. I had gotten away with one, and I thought I can go back to it, and they got my ass for it.
Wait, what was your relationship with the refs? Did you ever butter them up?
Fuck the refs. Fuck all the refs. Fuck them all. They're, you know, my thing with the refs are it's just so uneven. It's just so uneven, the enforcement of penalties. And this isn't against me. This is in the game. It's so uneven of the enforcement of the penalties, and it comes down to a critical juncture in the game. And these guys haven't thrown flags for 4 quarters, and now they want to get the flags out. Now they want to decide the game. And it's like, you know, I mean, I would just love to see
You
a
got to
better.
call the game consistently at the beginning that you're going to call at the end.
If you're going to throw flags for PI, throw them in the first quarter, throw them in the fourth quarter. I can handle that. But if you're going to go throughout the whole game and you're going to let this little ticky-tack stuff go, and then in the fourth quarter it happens and you throw a flag, it's like, it's uneven. I want what's fair. And you've been a part of games where you just get fucked by the refs. Yeah. And you take all the evidence and you turn it into the NFL, and the NFL comes back the next week and they're like, yeah, that was a bad call. They shouldn't have called that. Or maybe they should have called through a flag here. And you're like, dude, our whole season depends on that. And this asshole who wants to come talk to me before a game, hey, what's up, bud? How you? Fuck you, man. Like, I mean, that's the one thing that pisses me off about refs. You know, just not doing their job. Everyone else is out there doing their job.
Did you have any one ref that you liked? None of them, or all of them are? They're all bad.
Fuck them all. I mean, I liked a couple of them. I would talk with a couple of them before the game. But as soon as that ball was snapped in the first quarter, they're on me. Hey, no pushing and shoving, no doing that. I'd be like, throw the flag or shut the fuck up, man. Just what? I'm not out here to talk to you.
That's Raider.
That's Raider football.
That's a Raider.
That's a Raider mindset.
That's a Raider.
Hey, I'm not out here to talk to you. I don't want to be buddy with you. Like if you see it, you warn me, and then you throw the flag, and then we'll move on.
Fair enough, baby. Do business as business is being done, right, Jules?
Yeah,
That
you
was
got to
Bill.
do business. That's what Bill would say. Now, fellas, we got to see how the refs are going to call it, and then you do business as business is being done.
Oh, man. Let's put a bow on this game. 24-21. The Raiders get out of there with a win. Don't allow a sack all game. Give Josh Jacobs his first 100-yard-plus rushing game. And as we alluded to earlier, get the sacks back on the board. Three sacks just in the first half. 4 total for the game. Shut down Khalil Mack.
Now-
Get out of there with a win.
Young Buck Jacobs runs for 1,100 yards. Did he get you guys anything after the season?
I don't think so. What did Josh get us? Something? Yeah, he got us like one of those big boombox radios. You know, those big
Yeah,
things.
they were
Little
big
beats.
that year.
They were big that year. Yeah,
That year- there's always a gimmick gift
yeah.
that is big in the locker room that like for a specific year.
Derek had an all-timer that year. Derek, this is the best gift I've ever gotten. Big Yeti cooler, full with Omaha steaks, and a brand new Traeger Timberline like 1500.
Hell yeah.
Big old smoker. I still cook on that bad boy in the back of in the backyard like this. This is one Derek got me.
Vince Wilfork would appreciate that story.
Oh, V can cook.
Yeah, I bet.
That dude loves barbecuing. I got fortunate enough to be invited to his house a couple of times for the barbecues, and boy, that dude can make some ribs.
I bet.
And
He looks like it.
he does it in overalls with no shirt. That's how he barbecues. Overalls, no shirt.
Just letting it all hang out.
I think it could be a trash can too. Did you guys celebrate when you're in London?
After the game?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we got on the buses and we had to drive because no one in London gets a police escort except the Queen. Wow. So we had to load up on all the buses and we were with the Bears and we were like, I don't know, 10, 15 buses deep. And we had to go from there, from Tottenham, all the way to the airport in the south. And it took us like an hour and a half and we had to stop the buses like 2 times for people to jump off and use the bathroom. So like, it was a kick in the nuts, man. You get done playing, and then we took off at like 3 a.m. in London, and we landed at 3 a.m. the same time back in Oakland. And like you're just messed up for a couple days.
Yeah.
Like that's a long trip.
That is tough
That's tough. And
for
then
the West Coast.
West Coast is tough, man. It's something that I didn't really think about until obviously playing out here.
Yeah.
But like all our East Coast trips, we have to leave on Friday.
Yeah.
So we go in on Friday and we practice, and then 1 o'clock plane, chill all day, which I like. You get to relax all day Saturday and not have to travel. But then Sunday, come in Monday, watch the film. Like
That's
at work.
tough.
You're at work from Friday at 8 in the morning till Monday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So it makes for long travel weekends.
Yeah. We'd always leave it if we were going. I never played on the West, but anytime we make anything over 4 hours, we would go a day early.
Yeah.
A flight 4 hours, but they have to go probably a lot.
It's back-to-back weeks.
Yeah. Aftermath, Jack.
Both teams went on their bye week after this, coming back from London, need a little rest after all that. Each team hit a little skid. Bears going a 3-game losing streak, finished the year 8-8, missed the playoffs. Raiders going a 2-game losing streak, finished 7-9 and missed the playoffs. But most notably, week 15, the Raiders play their last game in Oakland. A loss to the Jaguars, unfortunately.
Yeah. So we had a crazy deal right there. So we played in Minnesota, in Indianapolis, in London.
Jeez.
We had our bye week, and then we had to go to Green Bay and to Houston all in a row. All in a row. Schedule makers, too. You could put them with refs. They're fucking idiots. I mean, it was our last year in Oakland. We were on the road for whatever that was, 6-7 games with a London trip in there. And like, yeah, we fell apart. We had a 2-game. We have this big win, come off the bye week, loss. And then, staring down the back half of the season. And it's like, dude, we got to win every game to get in.
Yeah, that's tough. And there's so many distractions with the team leaving. The fans probably were pissed. It was just probably a pissed off environment, going because the Oakland loved the Raiders.
For sure.
I know that they, were in LA for a while, but Oakland. I wish California would have made a fucking stadium there. And I think wasn't that it?
Yeah.
Was that it?
You can't get a new stadium built in California.
Yeah.
I mean, all the old ones, Qualcomm, Candlestick, Oakland Alameda Coliseum, those are the worst stadiums in the NFL.
Yeah.
You would come out and you'd be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
But yeah, how they
SoFi's pretty dope.
SoFi's awesome. I love
SoFi's
SoFi.
dope.
Yeah, SoFi's dope. But that old Qualcomm situation down in San Diego, dude,
Yeah.
what a great tailgating area.
That was such a cool stadium. Even though it was a piece of shit stadium, they had great grass. They always had really great grass. It was like it was a Kentucky blue, but a short Kentucky blue.
fast
grass.
track.
But it wasn't like Bermuda, because you get those in the South. Like Miami always had a good Bermuda fast track.
Yeah.
Like that flat grass.
Yeah, like the golf course.
Yeah,
almost.
Those are such good grasses for running. I love those grasses.
Yeah.
But San Diego, like it had shitty locker rooms, and it was old, but it was still fun to play there.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You
I mean,
know?
well, the weather was great.
Great.
Like the tailgating, you're pulling up to the game,
People,
you're smelling the
they loved
charcoal
them.
and the barbecue, they were showing out. Remember how you used to have to get on the field? You used to have to go like duck down underneath that pad.
Yeah.
And it was like it was like concrete that was like 4 feet tall, and they had a big blue pad taped to it, and it probably been the same one for the last 30 years. And all these
For
big
the
guys,
dugouts, right?
yeah, and then all these big guys had to go up underneath. Then we have the dugouts in Oakland.
Yeah.
That's when I remember going to play as a visitor to Oakland, and you're in that little baseball locker room, and it's dark and it's wet and it's dingy and it smells, and it's like that's what Gruden did a really good job of our last year there. He's like, let's really embrace this, like the Raiders and Oakland. It's just such a perfect mesh of like ideology. Smart, tough-minded people, hard workers. That are just gonna, they're just gritty people. And we really embraced like, hey, this is our last season here. Like, let's really enjoy this. Let's embrace Oakland. That stadium's a dump, but it's our dump. Like, let's go defend it. So it was really cool to be there for the last season and then get to go to Vegas and enjoy the new stadium and the new practice facilities and all that. It was really cool to make that transition.
I think it's good that they're in Vegas. I love it. It's cool.
Vegas is a great sports town,
They love their sports, Vegas.
Yeah. You could go up, what I like about Vegas is you can go up there, you can see a UFC fight, go to a big event, then go to a Raiders game on Sunday, and Raiders games are so much fun.
They really are.
There's just so much stuff going on up there. I'm up there a ton to support the team and be up around the guys, and there's always something good going on. Going to the Sphere for a concert or going to see this guy's show. Yeah. It's a great town. I'm excited for them to get baseball and basketball.
That'll be cool.
Have you been to a Golden Knights game?
I haven't.
Dude.
It's awesome.
Awesome.
I only go to the Bruins games, bro.
When the Bruins play the Knights,
Maybe
you gotta come out. We'll go.
Definitely.
One of the best live experiences I've ever been to. Like techno music going, lasers, fog. Like it's pretty hype.
We'll have to come check it out. When the Bruins come out, I'll come. You're in Vegas a bunch?
Yeah, I'm in Vegas. Yeah, pretty much all season.
I'd be remiss to not ask, but how was it like playing for Gruden?
Awesome. I love Gruden. I love playing for him. He's an old school football guy like Gruden grinder. He's going to grind you up. You are going to practice hard. You are going to play hard. Very similar to the program you guys operated, squatting heavy, all that kind of stuff. But like my thing with Coach was Coach had a special relationship with everybody on that team. He impacted everybody's life on that team. He had a special relationship, and everyone looked up to Coach. Everyone loved Coach. And playing with him and, getting to see kind of his genius and, these guys like McVay and Kingsbury and stuff like that, he would sit at his desk and he had big ass TV on his desk and he had an old school computer. And he would sit there till he would go blind and he would watch every NFL game that week in the NFL in his office, take notes, come to us. Hey, these are the fads. This is what's going on. But to sit down and watch him make a game plan, like, hey, they're going to play two buzz. We're going to do this. If they come out and do this, we're going to do this. I had never been on a team. I'd never played an offense that really was that kind of like forward thinking and able to like
game plan
and get out of certain situations. I played on some teams in Miami. It was like, this is what we're running. We're going to go in there. We're going to run Jack, Jill, this, that. And you go in there and it doesn't work. And you're frustrated because you're like, that's all we got. Like that's our fastball. So to be able to play with Gru and watch him get guys going like Jacobs and Foster Moreau and Darren Waller, Darren Waller was on his way out of the league. No one saw any value in him. Gruden saw him in, I think it was a preseason game or during the regular season, saw him running around before practice. And he was like, who's that guy? And they were like, that's Darren Waller. Next thing you know, boom, he's in Oakland and he has a couple 1,000-yard season. So it was really cool to see him with the matchups and stuff like that. That's why I wish we would have got a couple years out of AB.
Yeah.
Let Gruden scheme up AB and let Derek chuck it. Like, whew.
Would have been fun.
That would have been fun.
Damn. What's your thought on the NFL having a team overseas?
From a competitive standpoint, I don't like it. Like, I like guys to be well rested. I like guys to be, not having to, go back and forth. Let's say it's in London. You know what I mean? You're going from London to LA to Miami, back to London to here. So I just don't like it for a competitive deal. Like, I would not want to play on that team. Would you want to play on that team?
I mean, it'd be kind of cool to live in another country for.
It'd be cool, but then when you get on that schedule and you get on the road,
but it depends on if they'll probably have like a U.S. like home base,
right? But think about just straight up London team, and then the schedule makers just fuck them.
I think they're gonna have to have like a division out there.
Eventually, that's what they will have to do for sure if they want to.
You have those 4 teams play each other, and then you have other teams go in, and then
I think it's inevitable. I just, I'm all about competing. It'd be tough, man. It's because that's like what I was talking about with the West Coast. Like that brings in a whole different dynamic of, in in Buffalo, we wouldn't have to leave till 2 o'clock on Saturday. So Friday, I was getting my massage. I was getting my IV. Friday, then Saturday, I was going to moving around. Then I was getting stretched here, doing that, working on mobility and stuff like that. And like,
It's more expensive.
well, the thing about a Friday thing is I'm not getting my Friday massage. I'm not getting my Friday IV. I'm not getting my Saturday movement or session. And, so it's like there's a whole different element of rest recovery that comes in to take effect. Now you take that to London or you take that to Brazil or wherever they want to do it, Germany. I mean, that's
Competitive advantage.
it's tough.
It's tougher. We'll finish it off with this. Who are some of the real Raiders on the team right now?
The real Raiders, the real dudes.
Yeah, who's like on the current roster? Who's a real Raider?
Mad Max Crosby. I mean, that guy is the definition of a Raider. He was a skinny little white dude coming out of Eastern Michigan. I mean, you saw him his rookie year, and you were just like, what are they thinking? Like, this kid's not big. He's not very fast. He's just kind of lanky, and he has this really awkward pass rush. But then you saw him kind of go through some adversity, have some injuries, get himself cleaned up, go to rehab, get everything going. And then you just saw him like take off. Like you saw him, he was a beast. Like I love telling Max Crosby stories because like I saw him from the young, crazy rookie doing all this crazy shit. And like, yeah, you're balling, but if you keep doing all that other stuff, you're not going to ball for very long. And he literally put it down and then just watching him train, watching him take care of his body, watching him, he gets done working out and the nutritionist hands him a bag of supplements and snacks and food like this. He's always walking around with that bag, but what that bag is that's his buy-in. Like he's all in. He's not taking a second off to not get better. So to see him transition from a guy to the guy and watch him bring the energy in practice and watch him just wreck a practice. I'm coaching the O-line and I'm just sitting back laughing. Like they'll come to me and be like, what should I do on that one? I'm like, good luck, brother. That's one of those things right there where you could have done this, but then Max would do this, So to see him to be able to just fly off the ball and bring it, I love it. He sets the whole tempo for the entire team. So when you want to talk about the definition of a Raider, a guy who's been through some shit, a guy who's learned, and a guy who's just become one of the faces of the NFL, really, really cool to see. Really awesome. Always love seeing Max. It's with a lot of these guys, I was there with Max, I was there with Colton Miller, Andre James, some of our young offensive linemen. And now these guys are on their second and third contracts with the team. And these guys were real young. And I took them under my arm and I got them going and, helped them on and off the field. And so it's kind of like that proud dad watching these guys ball out. They come from so young and now they're doing so well and they're thriving. You sit back. I'm proud of my guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. Man, we got any leftovers from this game, Rich?
Leftovers from the game? No, that was it.
You got anything that you want to plug?
Nothing I want to plug. Golf, baby. If you're out there, if you want to play golf, I'm retired. I'm available.
Let's fucking do it.
You get on the course?
A little bit here and there.
So you suck.
I'm not.
Yeah, but he'll hit a shot. Like you play him, he's whatever, but he hits a shot. And you're like, how the fuck did you make that fucking shot? And then he'll like ditch it. But
he's
then
got
like
some horsepower.
Yeah,
you got some horsepower.
He'll
behind
make
you.
some shots.
All
It's
you got to
fucking
do is get
unreal.
that little blade, that little face on that ball. That thing will go.
Let the club do the work,
If
baby.
you played more, you'd be just insane.
I'm playing. Wait, I won't be that embarrassing.
Yeah, we got to get you out at Riviera over here. It's great.
Yeah, it's a great course.
Richie, how's your golf game looking right now?
Golf game is looking good.
Dialed, baby.
What's your
Let's go.
handicap?
I'm a 7.6 right now.
Ooh, yes.
7.6.
Decimal point
Well,
six.
when I keep score on each hole, so I get the different metric. But yeah, man, I live in Scottsdale, so I play 3-4 times a week down there. Out here in Cali, moving around with traffic.
Coaches? You're a coach?
I got a swing coach. Yeah, John Costas Golf. Got to shout him out. He's the man. But yeah, I love it, man. Like I get my workout in and I get the emotion and the oomph out and the got to go be a beast in there. And then I love golf because it's competitive. Every shot, everything. There's a million different variables you have to take into account, and that's like where I get my competition because I got to get it somewhere. I love to compete. I love to win.
Are you the raider of the golf course?
Yes, I'm out there. Well, I'm out there. I mean, it's like me. I'll hit some shots, and even myself. I'm like, damn, bro, that's fucking nuts. But like, we got some horsepower. You put that club face on that ball, that thing's gonna go for a ride.
Yeah, I bet. He's probably hitting 500-yard dongs. Or whatever. All right, let's name the game. The Khalil Mack game, the black and silver UK edition, Raiders Nations Goes Global,
Oh, wow, yeah.
or Josh Jacobs Run Wild? Or do you have your own name for this game that you would like?
Man, I like the Josh Jacobs runs wild because he was running wild that game. We had some plays drawn up, like some crazy plays. They were running a 3-4, and me and Colton Miller were going to double team the 5 technique up to the front side backer, and then we had a traditional fullback. He's going to come kick out. And I mean, us three picked up these 3 bodies and we moved them over to the numbers. And Jacobs got this ball and he ripped it. So I like Josh Jacobs runs wild in London town.
Yeah.
In London town. It's our first London game.
It is.
This is our first London game.
Heck yeah.
Is this the greatest game of all time? Let's score it. Richie, 0 to 10 stakes of this game. Decimals are okay since we know you like them with 7.6 handicap.
So the stakes of this game for both teams?
Yeah.
The stakes of this game, I mean, it wasn't very high because we're coming off. I mean, they're all huge. So the stakes, I mean, I'm going to give it a 6.8.
It's a pro score. That's a pro score.
That's a very respectable. I'll go a 6. We're week 5.
Jack's at a 4. I'm at a 4-1.
Star power of this game. Who's in the game? Who's at the game? Coaches.
Star power was pretty good for this one. I wouldn't go too high. I mean, let's go a hair higher, 7.1.
I like that 7.
Jack has a 6.0. I had a 5.1.
The gameplay of the game, back and forth. You guys were up 17.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was good because it was a typical Raiders game. We jump out to a huge lead, and then we're just watching defense, kind of get scored on. So gameplay, I mean, I'll go 6.9. Nice.
I'll do it
for the boys.
I'll do a Gronk 6.9. I'm
Jack
Gronk.
has
Hey,
a
there we
6.8.
go.
I have
Let's
a
go, baby.
6.9.
There we
Let's
go.
The name
Jack, you wanna change
of
it?
the game.
yeah,
Now you score the name of the game. Josh Jacobs runs wild in London town.
Josh Jacobs runs wild in London town. Man, I'm going to give that a 9. That's good.
Strong name.
That's
That's
quality.
a strong JJR WLT.
Get 'em on
Rolls off
hats.
the tongue.
Like the golf club. JJRWLT. What's that? Josh Jacobs runs wild in London town, baby.
Well, you don't know week
don't know
5
that
of
game?
2019 season?
Wear that on course.
That's a good. I'll go 8-5.
Jack has a 3.0.
Oh,
I have
my
a
God.
I knew
Haters.
it. I scored it before I knew the name. We had named it. Damn, man.
Where does it stack up? What's our score? 6.1.
6.01.
You gotta understand what games we've done. Rich.
This puts
Let's
us
see.
right ahead of the 2011 Week 16 Patriots versus Bills, the Dinosaur Forever game we did with Matt Light, and just below the 2014 NLDS Game 2 Giants Nationals at 6.13.
baseball. That's where the baseball gets. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's our new
You got some good ones
59th.
on there.
We've done
Oh,
some
Super
games,
Bowls.
man.
Yeah.
Immaculate Reception, Bush Push.
We had the Women's World Cup final when Brandi Chastain took off her shirt.
Yep.
That
The
was,
Bush Push. I like that one.
That was a great one.
That's a good one.
We had Boise State, Oklahoma in 07 with the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, yeah.
That was a
Jared
great
Zabranski.
game.
Dude, one of the guys from my high school, he was a center on that team. He's
Yeah.
still talking about that game.
The dude proposed to his chick afterwards.
Yeah, yeah.
Johnson,
dude.
bro.
Johnson, yeah.
That game was nuts. I
That
remember
was an
watching
epic bowl season. That 2-year gap. That was like the Bush Push.
Yep.
That USC Texas. That's our white whale game.
Yeah.
We gotta
that's
do that
that's
game.
the
I gotta
one.
get Vince
Yeah.
Young.
Gotta
for
get
it.
that.
We got to get
Yeah.
Vince Young.
Gotta get Vince.
You
Young
got to
for
get
that.
VY on here. Ask him some questions, man. I got some questions for VY.
What question would you ask VY?
He's a legend, man. Where'd the $60 million go?
Oh, gosh.
Holy suitable. Thanks, Rich. I appreciate you coming on.
Oh yeah, brother. Thanks for having me.
My dog. Man, that was a fun episode.
That was wild, baby.
Richie.
Love
Who
the
knew a
O-lineman.
Week 5 game could be so fun?
Who knew?
O-lineman. We got to get more of them.
We got to get way more alignment.
Our third, if you're keeping track at home. Matt Light, Andrew Whitworth.
Oh, Whitworth. Yeah.
Wit.
Adding them to the list. We're a pro.
We had some all
lineman
pro.
podcast.
We had some really good O linemen. Who else we got? I gotta get Logan Mankins on. I saw him at the. I saw him at Tom Brady Day, and his wife's like, "Why didn't you ask Logan to get?" And I was like, "He probably wouldn't come on." I go, "Logan, would you come on to my podcast?" He said something like, "What's a podcast?"
I like that response.
Yeah,
from him.
you know what I mean?
Exactly what I expect.
He's just farming. He's farm. I think Logan Mankins literally he bought some property in North Attleboro and just farms the land.
Just as far as
Not for producing anything, but he just farms it. He just he wakes up early, plows the yard,
some herbs.
fucking loads the hay. That's
Feeds the chickens, tends to his crops. He's living Farmville for real.
No, he is. He's
Bro, we got to, when we were talking about him earlier in the show, I was doing a little Logan Mankins digging. His son, a sophomore at URI, a defensive lineman.
The boys, I know.
Yeah.
They're all big. I haven't seen, I saw those kids when they were like 2 and 5, and he's got daughters that's like graduating college. I used to spend Thanksgiving with them.
Really?
And the linemen. They would always invite me over because I was didn't have really a family, like my family didn't come out, and I was kind of like a guy that was bouncing on the roster, and he'd always invite me. Him and Dan Conley. Dan Conley was the best cook.
Bro.
Dan Conley could cook his balls off. I'd love to have him come on.
Isn't Dan Conley coaching out here?
Is he? He's not coaching, is he?
Wait, hold on.
I think he's a chef. I think he literally became a chef.
Who am I thinking of that's coaching out
His
here?
brother was a chef. He made homemade marshmallows, knocked my faces off when we did s'mores. And he'd make his own pickles and beers and shit.
Bro.
Craftsman.
That's legit. Oh,
Linemen are cool. They all have great, like,
They're smart too.
they're very smart, and they all have, like, awesome, like, leisureful activities. A lot of hunting in
dudes with
those.
hobbies.
But they're hobbies.
You see less golf, I feel like, on the line.
Richie's a golfer, though. Nah,
He's in Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah, you got to golf when you're from Arizona.
That was a fun episode, and I think it's time to hit the old hotline.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Remember, that number is 424-291-2290. Let's get into it.
I'm Dylan from Chicago. Just wanted to see what you thought about this Caleb Williams guy. He seems pretty good. Personally, I was a Justin Fields fan, but what's done is done, and I can't wait to see what he's got. Also, this is the longest it's been since the NFL has added a new team, since the Houston Texans.
Great fact.
Which city would you guys like to see
What
a
a
team
fact.
come out of? See you guys. Love the podcast.
Great call.
That's a great call. I'm really excited for Chicago. This is the best situation that they've had on offense side of the ball in probably the history of the league or the team. I mean,
true.
if you really, it's a pass heavy team. I mean, Caleb did everything you wanted to see out of your number 1 pick overall in his first game that he's ever played in the National Football League. I mean, executed within the system. You saw a little bit of his magic, got outside the pocket. That screen pass, to get that screen off the way he did, that's harder than what, like, it would look all like he was that's a great play to get the screen off. I mean, a lot of times you see those balls get batted by quarterbacks and stuff. And then he hit that deep third down. It was 3rd and 12, and he hit that deep crow route to DJ Moore. I mean, it was good to see him play that way. And, he, being a fan of Justin Fields, I think, he's an athletic guy, but they are light years ahead with a guy that has never played a snap in this league compared to a guy that, played 3 years that didn't have really many wins. And I know we can blame coaching, this, that. You saw unbelievable plays with his legs, but you never saw the comfort that you saw with Caleb Williams in his first game. And I know it's vanilla looks. I know it's the preseason. We ain't seen that execution in Chicago ever.
No, you're right.
Even
Not
if
since
it
Rex
screwed
Grossman.
it up. Like, even in practice, I'm sure they never looked that good.
No, for real.
That was
Smoking Jay,
good.
Nobody.
And then with this another question about which city I would like to see have a team. That's a really good question. Who would like a team?
You thinking domestic or international?
I'm thinking domestic. I think we're still too early for international.
Texas could probably support another team.
Was San Antonio? What about like
Me and Jack were talking maybe like for how much the South loves football. I know it's college football, but they're a little bit underrepresented in terms of NFL teams.
Like a Birmingham.
Alabama?
Alabama,
They always
I don't know,
in
it just
all the
seems
new
weird, though.
the new leagues.
They
There's
go
always
there.
a Birmingham
Yeah, it's always
team.
Birmingham, baby. The home of whatever spring league you're asking for.
But Boise,
Oh,
The guy,
baby,
Jared
they like their
Zabrowski.
football up there. I think the flavor
Idaho?
Salt Lake City,
the flavor of the month is Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake
They're
City.
getting everything.
they're getting a new hockey team.
I mean, those people like their shit too, and there's like a big, there's a big Polynesian culture out there. So like football is loved in Utah. With the Mormon stuff, there's a lot of Polynesian Mormons, and so like a lot of them live there. And there's some like beastie ass football players in out there, so they like football. I just don't know with like the rules of the league if it would work because of the gambling, because of alcohol and stuff. I don't know the sales.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's the thing with it. There's a lot of stuff in Salt Lake that like
The NBA
because
makes it
of the
work, though.
influence of all those people. It's a pretty clean, nitty gritty. They do what they do type place.
Facts.
But it's when I went there, I went and watched a UFC event out there, which was spectacular. Shout out Dana White. I thought I was only going to see white people. It was a lot more diverse than I thought.
It's a big city.
Yeah, but when you think Salt Lake City, you think it ain't nothing but salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts.
I was amazed. But I
Damn.
mean, it was still not a lot, but
I was gonna say that ain't saying much.
but
But
it
no,
was
I
more
feel
than I
that.
expected.
All right, there's something to say for
There's
that.
more expected.
I will say,
Beautiful city, very nice people, and a lot more diverse than I thought it was going to be.
hell yeah,
You can go Canada too.
Canada too. I think St.
Toronto,
Louis,
Vancouver, Toronto. I don't
Vancouver
know if
be
Buffalo would
tight.
like that, but Toronto.
who?
Toronto.
Buffalo wouldn't.
Buffalo wouldn't
So
like
close.
I think the Argonauts follow us on Twitter, on Instagram.
Let's go, baby. Shout
Toronto
out the
Argonauts?
Argonauts.
CFL.
that. The BC Lions don't, and they drafted me.
Got your rights still, probably.
Still do. I'm
More of a
coming out.
Montreal Alouettes.
I'm coming
Hey,
out.
I'm gonna stand on the soapbox, bro. Give the people of Oakland the team back, baby. They've lost too many damn
Oakland.
teams. They've lost too many damn teams.
We can put the Oakland what team? Oakland can only have the Raiders,
Bro, the Oakland Hyphies. I don't care.
The town Hyphies.
I don't care, bro. Give them something. The people of Oakland need a team back. Basketball.
the Oakland
left
Fizz.
them. The Oakland Ghost Ride the Whips.
Oakland Fizz is kind of tight.
Sorry, I'm stealing valor here. I mean,
Maybe that'll
Marshawn Lynch,
segue.
the coach.
Maybe this talk will get Marshawn to come on
now we're talking.
because he's King Bay.
He could be the guy. He could be the ambassador to get him back.
I don't know if it's true, but I heard like a rumor through the grapevine, which is probably 100% not right. But I heard he built like a Miami style house on the bay in like Richmond.
Heck yes, dude.
On the bay.
Heck yes.
That's high if it's
I
true.
hope that's true.
I hope it's true. Someone confirm if that's true.
That rules.
This is Paul from Rhode Island. So I've got a Kent State dynasty with you as the head coach, Julian Edelman. And it's about time we get out of the MAC, I think. So is it the ACC or is it the Big 12? I'm not ready for the SEC. Keep it 100. Deuces.
Considering the realignments, I wonder who's in that ACC and that Big 12. That has a lot to do with it because if they're jumping, that means other teams are jumping. So what's that division look like? This is an incomplete question.
Yeah, I don't even know how that works.
Because if
in college.
Clemson's out of
Yeah,
ACC, we can
let's
go
just-
up in there and
well,
win
let's
it.
a game.
Let's just say right now, current conferences.
I think we go Big 12 because I got to win against a Big 12 team against Iowa State. So I'm going Big 12. Cyclones.
You got Arizona back in there, Arizona State in there, which is weird, coming over from the Pac-12. Baylor, BYU is new. UCF is new. Cincinnati's new. Colorado back in the Big 12, new though, from the Pac-12. Houston, Iowa State, Kansas State. That's fun. Oklahoma State, TCU, Texas Tech, Utah, and West Virginia.
I still go ACC so you can play in Lane Stadium.
There you go.
ACC?
Yeah.
Yeah, Big 12's
Go
weird.
play
I
against
forgot about.
Stanford.
Yeah, but Big 12 sounds more Kenty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in that, you're more in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Culturally.
ACC feels East Coasty as fuck to me.
Yeah.
Still does.
East Coasty, South, and a little soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need a little grit and like Big 12's diet Big 10.
Hey, that's a good line. Yeah, you got grit with Houston and West Virginia, and those are some gritty schools. I like that.
What's up, Jules? Big fan of the podcast. So I recently just graduated UCLA, and my girlfriend broke up with me. Do you have any advice on how to get back out there, or like what to do next? Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Bye.
He broke up with his girlfriend
She broke up with him. Bro.
from probably right out of college.
Gained a degree, lost a girl. I hate that.
No, that's the best thing for you, buddy.
Is it?
Yeah. You're start
I got my
fresh.
heart broken in
You're
college.
brand new.
Damn, bro.
Here's what you do, guys.
She messed up.
You're in LA. You go to hello@gameswithnames.com. You send in a resume. Be a researcher for old Games with Names. We're looking for some bodies to help with some stats.
Or
I don't know.
Or there's a little place in Venice. You go down to this place called El Chucho.
Oh, Stevie will get you right.
And Stevie will get you right.
Have you a couple cold ones? Belly
Hey,
up to the bar.
they got a cool like singles page.
I like that.
Like a singles page for fucking the bar or something. My buddy.
Damn, Stevie ain't telling me about that.
Yeah,
I
hey,
gotta
man.
get on that, bro.
There you go.
Oh man, yeah,
That's what he should do.
That's the move.
You're in LA.
That's the
You're
move.
young. You got a degree.
Yeah.
Go travel. Go
Smart
do Bruce
cat.
Wayne shit.
Yes, bro.
No, do Bruce Wayne when he lost his parents and he had to go live in as a criminal and learn the bad ways to see perspective of what he's really on this earth for. He doesn't even know what he's out here for. You're 22 years old.
Amen, brother.
You know?
Explore, dog. Get out
I feel
there.
bad for my guy though.
I do. I
Probably
hate
in
it for the homie.
Listen to Usher. You got it. You got it bad.
bad.
And it come right back. You got it. You got it bad. When you miss a day, I'm a head and a never. All right.
We're like hour 2 of the show.
Get
If
out.
anyone's here, you guys are the real fans.
Brother, get
All right,
out there
should
and
we
get
do-
back on the horse,
Want
brother.
to do one more?
We believe in you.
You help me sing.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Just listened to the Casey Affleck episode. Born and raised Bostonian here. My name is Nick. I'm calling because I'm a little upset. First of all, let me just say I love the show. Listen every week. Love it. Love you guys. Jules, followed you since you got here in New England. Love you, kid.
Love you too, dude.
Always. I'm a little upset about the top 5 most not hated New York athletes. I believe Mariano Rivera has to be on that list. Mariano Rivera received a standing ovation in Fenway Park by every single Bostonian who attended the game on opening day in 2005. That does not happen. Just does not happen. I heard, I respect you guys so much, but I heard Jaromir Jagr in there. To me, he's a Pittsburgh Penguin.
That's what I
not
thought.
A New York Ranger.
That's fucking Kyler.
I think we got to rethink that one, guys. Rivera
Thank you.
belongs on that
I
list.
believe. I'm with you, dude.
Every Bostonian here that I know loves him. I mean, you might find a guy here or there who hates him, but mostly in the city of Boston, Mariano Rivera is highly respected. Thanks, guys.
Very respected. I agree.
Nick, I'll give you that, brother. You got us, Nick. Nick, you are hands down 100% right.
Of all the things that Nick from Boston talking about Fenway Park, Yami Yaga, he's standing on the table for Mariano Rivera.
Love it. That's how you know there's respect, baby.
Dude, we had a play named after him because he was the closer.
Oh, shoot.
Mario
Jordan
Rivera,
Rivera?
stopper. It was a stopper. Why shoot? It's like one of those terms that we were talking about with Richie. Remember the one who tells everyone?
Yes, bro.
It was Rivera.
Man.
You guys, if you need a stop, you put in Mariano Rivera in there.
And we ain't talking about Geraldo, baby. This is Mariano.
Mariano.
Let's go, baby.
What else we got?
I'll get it. Nick, thank you for calling
That
us
was a
out.
great- that was a great
We'll
one.
own up to
Thanks
it,
for
Nick.
calling.
You're right, bro.
But
Hey Nick, where did he say he was from?
He's from Boston.
Yeah, but he didn't say the.
Oh, born and, yeah, he didn't
born and
say
I
raised
got
Bostonian.
that Bostonian. I can know a lot more.
An accent like that though, like he's in it.
He's in it, but
He's in it.
you can even know more about him if he gave us actual neighborhood.
Quincy.
You think he's South Shore?
You think he's seen The Instigators yet?
He better have.
He better have.
Better have. It's a great movie.
Great movie.
Also, Jaromir Jagr was there for like 9 years. Huge Penguins fan. He had like a 25-year career. He's
Next
everywhere.
question, please.
But also, Yami Yaga, incredible. That's
Was it full
That's the
cup of
show.
coffee with the Rangers?
Yeah, hit a cup of coffee with him.
Okay. Like,
Cup of
it was
coffee
that?
with a lot of. He belongs to the league.
All
He
right,
belongs
I
to the
got
league.
you.
But I was just trying to find a Ranger.
All right.
Not a whole lot of likable Rangers. Let's wrap this up.
All right. Let's do it.
Well, what a game. Thanks again to Richie. That was a fun episode. That's been another episode of Games with Names. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Comment a game you want us to do. And remember
Rate and review.
to follow Games with Names on YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Snapchat. Leave a message on the hotline at 424-291-2290. We will see you guys next week.
Later.
Games with Names is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.